Hello, everyone. We are back, finally, with our game. I'm sorry it's taken so long. Someone once said that the bane to all TTRPGs is scheduling, and my god, is that the case? But I don't care, because we're all here. Apart from one of us, we are missing the lovely and talented Jacob this evening. He's got some things that are far more important, like life, to deal with. So we've given him the night off. So his part tonight will be played by the music player Mackie. Mackie, for all your TTRPG roleplay needs. Right, we are jumping straight in to episode 7 of this wonderful game. Life, pure nonsense. So, as always, I want to thank my wonderful cast, which I shall pop into the chat right now, so you all know who they are. They are at Sebastian, at Brewood Chill, at I'm a Bonsai, at the Crispy Ninja 1, who is currently absent with leave. And Shelby Mustang with 3 Gs. They are the best players. They are the bestest of players. And I can't wait to get going again. For those of you who are watching for the first time, I will just pop up a bit of information in the chat for you now. Tell you what this is all about, basically. 5 years ago, I started to write a TTRPG sandbox world from scratch, because lockdown was a thing and my brain wanted to vent, and it vented into Dungeons and Dragons quite heavily. I wrote everything to do with the world itself, the continents, the cities, the towns, the villages, the trees, the rocks, the rivers, everything, the governments, the parliamentary systems, the religions, the gods. I borrowed some from 5e, because why wouldn't you? It's massive. And yeah, so this is episode 7 of Thoria, The Broken World. I am now going to go into the game chat, so my lovely players can now unmute their microphones.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
And there's our wonderful Tad. The artwork is now glowing with a red background. Just to say he's
That's
here.
amazing.
He's here in spirit. Right, for some reason I've got Christmas elf music playing. I don't know why. I'm going to kill that quickly.
Will Ferrell's coming into chat.
That track was called The Helpful Hag. Well, all right.
Are hags
That's
generally?
not good starting at all.
Well, not usually,
Don't
no.
like that.
Unless they're
I don't
lying
trust
to
like
you.
that.
Right, I'll turn Mackie on, and then we can get on with this game. How are you all?
Ready
Great.
to play.
Good. Yeah, ready to
So
play.
I'm ready.
Trying to remember where we were last.
What is Dungeons and
We're
Dragons?
gonna hang out.
It's
hang
been
out.
too long.
It has been too long. Right. Music is set. Players are ready. That was my little spiel, and here we go. Right. So, recap on episode 6, just in case we forgot, because it has been a month since we played. Within a cave on the southern tip of Shanty Isle, our adventurers battled and laid waste to a dark creature made of black smoke, and its lackeys, in the form of zombies from fallen soldiers and adventurers past. Just on the edge of its demise, the creature that Tad recognised from the garden cavern in West Point said, "You'll never find it," before it expired. With the danger past, our party moved on to the riddle on the treasure map. After various investigations and a couple of missteps, they deduced how to extinguish the lights and reveal the secret within the cave. Utilising the latex substance they collected when they last encountered the smoke creature, they turned out the lights to find another message on a bottle saying, "Pass beneath the peak of darkness to find the reward you seek." Along with the new message, the party found some items of great interest, and then, as with all good treasure caves, it began to collapse. They escaped, and they took the Corsair back to the docks on the northern side of the island. Our group went again once more to the Dryad's meandering shop to identify their finds Elwyn apologised this time for running away the last time, and the Dryad lends comfort to her, saying that she would keep her location secret as long as she's alive. Bird had a bow identified that she found. A dragon wing bow, made from the bones of a lightning dragon. However, on displaying the stone that she wears around her neck, the stone that the ghostly woman transformed into within the pile of many things back in West Point, Dryad growls, shouting the words, "The Exexium!" And then the shop vanished. Our party, now making their way back to the ship. New crewmate Toby on board, thank you. New crewmate Toby on board, guarded by Captain Hylia's familiar Udro, the blue imp, who is also the powder monkey of the ship, because that makes sense. They decided to take some time on the main deck as evening takes the sky. The faint image of the Sword of the Immortals in the distance, the force field beam firing from its apex like a lightsaber. The fire whiskey comes out, and that's where we rejoin our story. So, as darkness takes the sky, and the ship pulls away, Shanty Island, deck is cleared of crew. Mr. Bones is in charge of the ship, and you sit in a quiet space by yourself. What would you like to do? Panic. That was crickets,
You were so ready
guys. That
30
was
seconds
crickets.
ago.
Yeah,
No?
I know.
Right?
I just, wait, who am I? What are we? Wait.
Okay, I'll do one thing.
Obo's gonna climb up on like a bunch of barrels or whatever's around and just kind of plop.
Yeah.
Kind of swing our legs around.
You all look. You all
Owen's gonna
look
pull
around.
out a thimble and say, "Isha, you said you have fire whiskey."
A thimble.
Thimble?
I'm 2.5 feet tall.
Yeah, a thimble's like half a pint to you.
That is true. Isha is. I would say that Isha, at the end of the day, to relax, he's just gonna plop down and lay on his back, just stare at the sky for a few minutes to breathe.
There.
He's like, that was a wild cave.
What have we gotten ourselves into?
Bird's gonna kind of distance herself from the group a little bit, find a place to sit, and that was a lot. I think it's high time we get to know each other a little better, because it's obvious that we're in this for the long haul at this point.
It's
That's
at this point you all look over and just see Tad, who's a little bit sort of switched off from the rest of you. His thumb is just pawing over the edge of his daggers, where you see the very familiar symbol of Creel Vargas etched into the hilt of the dagger, and he just turns around, just says, guys, I'm just gonna get a rest," and he just hovers up towards the crow's nest, still within earshot, but he may close his eyes at some point.
Good idea. He was exhausted.
That's good for him. He needed to choose himself there.
Anyway, fire whiskey.
I think Bird's right. If we're gonna be taking blades and punches and what have you for each other, I think we at least need to know each other. And Isha does pull out the fire whiskey that he had stored in a bottle. I'm not one versed in drinking games, but I'm sure someone's got an idea.
I work at a tavern every day. So I've seen many a group come through. I don't know if there's an official name for it or what, but in order to get to know each other, I know people have done kind of a sip or spill. You can like lay out a piece of information to a fellow traveler, and you either take a drink or you kind of spill your guts about what that piece of information is.
Okay. That sounds perfect.
That sounds like a wonderful idea. I have to ask though, are we gonna drink after each other, or do we all need thimbles? As he pokes fun at Elwyn.
I'm 2.5 feet tall.
I've never ventured to fire whiskey. I do work in a tavern, but we've never had that. I think I might take a thimble. Just to be on the safe side.
Shots.
Elwyn, do you have extra thimbles?
Of course.
Of course she does.
And Opal had
wants
said,
nothing to do with the fire whiskey.
yeah. Are you tinkering, Opal?
Yes, I am just
Okay.
sitting and I'm kind of messing with my squirrel.
Opal, instead of sipping, Opal will take a screw or something from you. If you don't give us information.
That's perfect.
I just love it
Fair.
that if Bird had a Google, it would actually show looking up medieval drinking games. Sorry, I digress.
I made it. I made
So-
it happen.
Isha will start dealing out the thimbles so that we're all ready for the game. Who wants to go
Okay,
first?
so, I mean, I brought it to the table. I suppose I will go. Actually, Opal, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I've noticed that you almost seem nervous when you use your magic. Is there like a reason for that?
It doesn't always do what I want it to. And it can become dangerous sometimes. That's why I left my village.
Oh. That makes sense. Okay. That does sound very scary.
It is very scary. It's why I don't always use what I know.
Bird, make a perception check for me.
Isha immediately starts to like shuffle and like get uncomfortable because he realizes what he's getting into.
12.
12. As Opal said that, she just sort of subconsciously, just a hand went straight to this stone poppy that she wears around her neck, on a chain. It's definitely some sort of comfort blanket for her. It's a memory of something past. But you do notice that within the stone itself, there are little red just charges that every now and again just crackle, and you just notice one of those little red flecks. She said the magic goes wrong sometimes.
Okay. Well, I don't know how to fix that. Maybe we can figure some stuff out.
I've been traveling around trying to find out why I have magic. My grandmother had magic. No one else in our village has magic.
Oh.
And they weren't real happy with us having magic, like, because sometimes things go wrong. So
That
it's
must have
not.
been like growing up, so I'm sorry.
Well, I found out when my grandmother died. that I had magic. That's when I found out. So like I haven't really had a mentor of any kind really. I've just been like books, going to different libraries, trying to find information. By the way,
Absolutely.
does anyone know what this is? And she pulls a cloth out of her pocket. Has anyone seen this before?
If you would like to make history checks for those of you who are proficient with
Okay.
history,
I mean, I'm not.
or religion if you are proficient in religion.
I am neither, so I will not be rolling.
I tried. I got a 6.
13.
So
He's not sure.
Let me consult my notes. Hang on.
I love when we get Rob to check his notes.
Consult the notes.
This is getting like the thickness of a book now, so there is no way I can
Yeah.
inhale all this as
I
much as I
love
would
it.
like to. No, unfortunately not. Not with the 13. It doesn't look friendly. I can give you that much. Lots of factions and groups of mercenaries and things like that use these very simple symbols to like daub something quickly on a wall to let them know
Sure.
that this is our territory, or don't cross us here, or something to that effect. So a lot of them do look very similar because they want to be just quickly like straight lines and hashes and things just so they can do it and go and back into the shadows. So it has a feeling that it is of that ilk, but as for what it is exactly, you don't know. Opal, just make a wisdom saving throw for me.
11. Wait, wisdom save. That means I add something. 14.
14. Okay.
Yeah.
As this is one of the first times in a long time that you sat down with anyone to have a conversation where you feel somewhat safe. This is you get a feeling that this is going to be difficult. As that realization hits you, you just get a couple of flashes into your mind of a scared girl behind a wooden door being cradled by an older woman while there is shouts and knocks at the door outside. You can see torches, people yelling on the outside. And then that just goes black, and then it comes back again, and you see the image of your grandmother's bedroom and the window open with the curtain flapping. And it disappears again, and you come back to reality again quickly. Things like this, when you're starting to open up, just jars your memory slightly. And as that happens as well, there was another little red fleck coming from the poppy that's around your neck. Quick charge, just back to normal.
So I tinker and I try to channel my magic through what I make to keep things safer in a way. Because I don't want what happened to my grandma to happen to me, and I'm trying to find out what happened to her.
Rocky sort of hops just next to you onto the bench and just lays still, creaking it slightly just to stretch.
Your tinkers are so cool. I can't wait to see what you do next.
I'm working on something big.
Can't wait.
We'll have to see how that turns out.
Okay, someone else go now.
Drink.
Well, do you think it would be fair that the person who gets asked a question is the one that gets to ask the next question?
Sure.
Then I want to know about Eloman's ears. They're so pretty.
Thanks. What do you want to know about them?
I've never seen ears like that before.
It's hereditary.
Your family has ears like that too?
Sometimes.
That's really cool.
Yeah. It's usually there's like one person at a time. There is one person at a time in the family that has.
So that makes you special.
That sounds specific.
There are people that think that I'm very special because I have these ears. Yes.
Does that mean you're in danger? Like I'm in danger?
Well. Okay. How much do you guys want to know? Because I can't guarantee that if you know things that you're going to be safe. But I also can't guarantee that you would be in danger either. I don't know.
I think
I think we're all a special case of fucked up. So I think we're going to be in danger regardless.
Right?
Unfortunately, I agree with Isha.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's
Bird just looks down and like kind of picks at her like fingers.
Well, here's what I could do. I can tell you the story the way it was told to me. If you would like. It's how we memorized kind of. And I'm going to read it because I did not memorize it because I didn't want to.
Screw you guys.
I wrote it. That's enough. Okay, and you see Elowen gets in that like if you are telling someone your favorite fairy tale that you got told every night before bed, like it's just something that is part of you at this point kind of thing. You don't have to think about it.
This is a very "are you sitting comfortably, then I'll begin" sort of moment.
Yes. Yeah, it's very short. Long ago, our people were at war. A gods-touched woman named Aqual led them to victory. She was as wise as she was brave, so our people made her their leader, the first radiant Auspex. Aqual's granddaughter, Morwenna, was also gods-touched, and learned to lead by Aqual's teaching and example. She became the second radiant Auspex. Morwenna brought together leaders both young and old from all walks of life that her people might rule alongside her. Thus the Empyrean Assembly was born. Our people prospered and looked for the next God's touch to appear who might learn from Morwenna and become her heir. But none came, and with Morwenna's passing, the Assembly did its best to fill her role as well as their own. 3 generations passed and our people began to lose hope. Until I was born, God's touched, and the third radiant Auspex. So, basically, you know how sometimes people tell stories and they get kind of out of control a little bit over time, and then my people think that I'm really special and magical and there's something like that I'm supposed to be the leader, but really it's just that one person was a really good leader and then she trained the next one, so of course she's going to be a good leader. And then it's not because I have the ears, it's just because, you know, it was a legend and then it got out of control.
Well, you seem like a good leader, though.
Thank you. That's very nice. I definitely had a lot of training.
But I think that comes from inside, though.
I made a lot of mistakes. I had a very good mentor who taught me a lot of things. And so my parents wanted to leverage this legend, right? Because they had me. I have 5 older brothers and sisters. It was very important to them to have the next me. But the assembly, you know, was like, you can't just have power just because you have a special kid, which was smart. And they thought that they could kind of get around that over time, and then they couldn't. And so they thought maybe if the assembly wasn't around, maybe they could just take over. And so we found out that was going to happen, and then I left. And so that's why I don't know if I should go back. I don't know if I can, or what would happen, because the plan was they were going to hurt a lot of people and then probably lock me away and say that they were speaking for me, kind of thing.
Are
I
you
think-
like princess?
No. It's more like a figurehead.
Okay.
For some reason, our family, someone, one at a time, has some kind of God's touched celestial magic or something. I don't really know what it is. I know what the legends say it is, but no one ever really figured it out. I think they wanted to keep the mystery around it a little bit.
Isha, just make a perception check for me, please.
Sure. That would be 18.
As you're listening to all this, you can see that when Elwyn is sort of like, she's wondering what to say and being very careful with what words she's using so not to give too much away. But when she struggles, the very, very, very slight halo as just above her head glows a little brighter, and then it diminishes when she regains control. You also see a little bit of a glow in her eyes too.
I can see the eyebrows.
So that's the ears. That's literally, I was born and they were like, oh my gosh, she has the ears, yay! And it had big parades and it was a big deal. But I'm just a person, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's complicated. And before we all met, I'd never seen anyone who seemed to have the kind of powers that I have. So that's new and exciting. Looking at Isha, but not going anywhere.
Isha does not meet her gaze at all and asks, so this God-touched power, for lack of a better term, it's only been with your village?
I don't know. I mean, I would assume the gods are everywhere, you know? They impact people all over the world, so I would assume that it could happen anywhere. I don't know why we only have one at a time either. Maybe they like to limit the power. But it's not like I'm even that powerful, you know? I can do some healing and things like that. But then I also had a lot of training. So Opal, I can absolutely see where you're coming from. That would be so scary to not have anyone help you.
I wish my grandma was still around. I
Yeah.
bet she could help.
We'll have to find someone that knows a little more. Because mine was so specific, you know, it's very specific for my kind of magic. But Isha, have you ever seen other people with ears like mine or powers like mine?
Is that a shoot or spill question, or is that just in general?
Yeah, that's a sip or spill.
Where I come from, magic is illegal. So if there was anything remotely magical in sense or anything of that nature, people didn't survive very long where I'm
Is
from.
that why you left?
Isha gets very quiet and calculating. I was kind of forced to leave. I didn't really have a choice.
I'm sorry.
Isha kind of twiddles his thumbs and he's thinking, I come from Sunbrand. And as far as I'm aware, I'm the only one that has sort of Opal's situation as well. I could heal faster than most kids. Anything that really could not be explained somehow trailed back to me, and I'm not sure how. So
Opal puts her hand on Isha's shoulder.
Isha takes a shot regardless. So yeah, I was kind of forced to leave by my mom. If I would have stayed, things would have been, I wouldn't be here, to put it plainly.
As you say those words, you just get that familiar image in your head again of the boat leaving the jetty side and it's the female figure ahead of you just holding out a stretched hand, tears running down her face as you slip away from the dock and out into the open water. And then that fades slightly into a dark image of a purple face and white hair just reaching out a hand, and then fades.
How old were you when you left?
9, going on 10. My
That's so
first
cool.
experience on a boat. But I did get to meet Creel. And I feel like Creel would be somebody who could answer a lot of questions for all of us.
What's Creel like?
You don't know him?
Well,
I know him.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
I know him a little bit,
Ah.
but not. He was more my grandma's friend. But I know he was important to her. And I know he was good. Because she trusted him. And she doesn't trust very many people. But I never really
how
got
did you all
to
meet
know
him?
him. What?
How did you all meet him?
Oh.
I was with him for a couple of weeks, so I feel like I got a good taste of his character.
Mm-hmm.
He brought this back to my grandma, and she shows the necklace. She had lost it, and then one day he showed up and gave it back to her.
When I left, the only safe place that we knew of was Mage Fortress. That's kind of isolated and it moves. And Creel came there for a while to, I guess, rest and get information and see people, and I was in a bad place. He was really nice.
Elowen, make a wisdom saving throw for
No.
me. You've got all those dice to use.
18.
18. As it's so poignant to your past, even with an 18, the vision just creeps in again of you being in a very familiar place, and then all of a sudden not being in it, and robed figures surrounding you. But you swear, just in a split second when you see this image, there's a purple face and white, and it goes dark again.
Bird is kind of glad that she sat kind of opposite of everybody anyway, because she's feeling very self-conscious. Everybody's talking about magic and how they have it and how it wasn't accepted, and she went looking for it. So she's gonna take a sip of her drink and just kind of still sit back, kind of picking at her fingers and taking everybody's stories in.
Wait, who answered the last question? Is it me? No, then I asked you. I asked Isha.
I think the table's open for anybody to ask questions, but I do have a question for Bird. Who taught you how to sing?
Oh, well, that's relatively easy. I got to take a lot of music lessons. It was like the one cool thing my parents let me do. There was like a music hall near where my parents worked, and I begged for weeks for them to let me have music lessons, and I guess they thought it would, give me routine or settle me down or something. But no, I got a lot of music lessons. I learned to sing. I play the harp. I play the violin. I do love music. It just wasn't something I was going to be able to pursue fully. So I learned what I could when I could.
As you were saying that, you couldn't help but notice that through the majority of this conversation, there's been a slight buzzing noise above you, as Tad's wings have just been doing the thing. But when that question was asked to Bird, the wings stopped. As soon as the question, where did you learn to sing? Out. And when you stopped speaking, buzzing just got back. He was paying close attention.
Why is he so interested in me?
Why can it be?
Ask him yourself.
Oh, was so much lore.
Lore dump.
Lord dumps, yeah.
Elwyn, what was the dryad talking to you about? Because she really liked you and took you away for a second, and but then she didn't like me.
Oh, no, she was talking to me about the situation back home, and that she would make sure if somebody came looking that she would tell them to go away. See, I don't know I don't know what happened after I left. It was right before this whole thing was supposed to go down, and so I don't know how everybody dealt with it. And so my mentor was on the assembly. He was helping me leave through a teleportation ring that was kind of forgotten about. But before he could go through, my sister showed up. And she killed him. So I'm assuming that, as smart as he was, that he would have had told other people, because he was coming with me, and so, you know, he wouldn't leave other people in danger. So I would think that everyone was safe and they dealt with my parents and probably the world moved on without me. But then I don't know what I don't know what happened. I don't have any way of knowing. So that's what we were talking about. She said that if anybody came looking for me, she would point them in the wrong direction and try to keep me safe.
It must be really hard not knowing.
It
Do you
is.
Do you miss your parents?
I miss people and I miss my home. But it's been nice to just be a person for a couple of years, and I don't want to be, I never wanted to be special or important or anything. You know, I was happy to be part of the assembly and help make decisions, but I liked just being just another person.
You are a good person.
Thank
Yes,
What
you.
I can
very.
tell.
Thanks. I'm trying. But I mean, I'd love to go home and see what happened, and make sure everybody's okay. My other siblings aren't psychopathic murderers, so it would be nice to see them. As, you know, very close to my oldest brother. He got a seat on the assembly because he's amazing. And then I have another sister that she doesn't care about politics. She just kind of cares about the social circles she's in, so she was fine. And then the twins are just happy to be out and about, camping and doing their own thing. So, you know, other than Demelza, we all got along really well.
Elowen, you just get a really quick image of Jorah and Jaka. Kiss them goodbye on that night.
Mm-hmm. It seems like we have some work to do. Do you, Isha and Opal, would you want to go back to your homes?
Alicia thinks for a moment, and he replies with, "You know what? As much as I miss my parents, I don't think I would want to go back. Once I met Basim, who was the captain of the Aurora that I got, Creel basically convinced him to let me on the ship, kind of like Toby. And once I was on that ship,
Oh God, you know,
I feel
I've
like my
never made that
home-
connection. How weird. Sorry, go on.
I know I was cooking there, but
I'll let him cook.
I was cooking with Toby.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great.
I feel like once I got onto the ship with the Aurora, I feel like home moves where that ship goes. And I feel like being free is more important than where I was from.
I feel like my answers aren't at home. And until I find answers, I don't think I can go home. Not because they want answers, but just because my answers aren't there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a t-shirt line. Wow. Yeah, I'm writing that down.
Isha, do you
If we get merch,
That
do you
for Opal is the line that so
Yeah.
far that is, oh my god, chef's
Really good.
kiss. Chef's kiss.
Isha, have you enjoyed the depth charge adventures, or do you miss the Aurora and wish you were still there?
how do I put this? The depth charge is I'm in my element on the depth charge. It's familiar. It's we don't go underwater with the other ship, that's for sure. Which is wild now that we're talking about that.
It's crazy.
Cool shit.
But there were so many things that I saw learning and experiencing being on a ship with the Aurora that made me realize that this world had a lot more to offer than on any ship. So that I don't think it matters what ship I'm on. It's just that I'm seeing those views and experiencing those experiences that this world has to offer.
If anyone wants to roll a history check, just roll a history check.
Okay.
You don't have to be proficient.
19.
Damn.
18.
18.
Woo!
Oh, okay. Wow. You don't have to be proficient in history. When he's mentioning the word the Aurora, you've heard of this vessel. It's quite a famous ship. Sailed mainly on Thoria. Has been documented on other continents. How it was transported there, you don't know. But it was famous for having sails which looked like they were made from what can only be described as like a sunset. It's just burnt orange, melding into red, melding into yellow. They just look like they're on fire, but not in an aggressive way. The flags were black, and they had the setting sun displayed on them. And if anyone ever saw this ship on water, they didn't really know whether to call it friend or foe, but they were wary of it because of its reputation. But Isha had one hell of a training, one hell of a captain. It's about this point when you start to hear some footsteps coming up the side of the ship, and a little wobbly from the day's events that she had. Hylia comes up for some fresh air. She's got a goblet in her hand. Always. I think this woman's an alcoholic. Wonderful alcoholic. It's just because she can hold it with a tail.
That is very cool.
It's just a flex. It's got water.
Of course it's a flex. She notices your little merry band on the deck, and she wanders over and just says, "Do you have room for a little one? Do you mind if I join?"
Please.
We always have room for you, Captain.
It's your ship. You can go wherever you want.
Well, thank you, dear. And she pulls over a barrel sits down, notices the bottle of fire whiskey that Isha's holding, and just immediately just puts her arm forward.
Isha was already offering the ball.
Yes, let's go.
Smooth
my
talking
gosh.
son of a bitch.
What do we want Hylia to spill about?
So she takes a sip. She is quite adept with this stuff, but even this gives her that little as she swallows it down. You swear when she breathed that, a little bit of flames went. She doesn't say much to start off with. She just looks around at you, and she can sort of tell, in like a matriarch sort of way. She looks around like a concerned mother almost. The people who have clearly had a day. But she looks at you, Elowen, and says, "So, how was the cave?"
I almost died. I did. Yeah, it was fine.
That was me laughing, not her. Did you find what you were looking for?
Wait.
Huh?
Thank you.
Would you like to give us a little bit of context about how you know what we were doing today? Because we've had some seriously crazy things happening. I'm going to be 100% honest. I've become paranoid. I almost died today. We had some weird shapeshifter 3 days ago or whatever. There's rocks talking to people. I don't know.
Take a breath. Good. If you remember the island we went to, it's somewhere you've never been before, but it's somewhere where everyone knows. I have spies. Part of my job. Takes another sip. And she says, I know you found a map. And I know where that map led to. I don't know what that map uncovered, but I do know the person who wrote. It's something that I thought I'd never see again. It was a singularly amazing. You have the note that you found?
Maybe? Looking at everybody like, are we?
It's the second part to the treasure hunt.
I don't know what it means.
I'm gonna kind of like look at Bird like, do we have the note? Do we want to tell her that we have the note?
Can I roll an insight? Can I?
Yeah, of course you can. On her?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What are you wanting to
Can
know?
I join her on that?
She had a reason for coming over and asking. She has a reason to have spies.
And then
She's
can I
more than
do?
just- She's more than just a pirate
Do
captain.
you want
at
to
this point.
know? So are you wanting to find out if her intentions are benign or malevolent with the knowledge that she seeks? Is
Yeah.
that what you wanted to know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll insight for me.
16.
Okay.
Nothing to report.
Glad to see you here, Captain. 16. It's,
I'm overwhelmed.
as far as you can tell, what there isn't any threat involved in what she's saying. There isn't any malice involved in what she's saying. She seems that she, instead of digging for information, what she's doing more is reminiscing. You feel that when she says that she'd like to see the note, it's not necessarily because she wants to take the treasure for herself. It's more that she just wants to see something that she may have seen in the past but not seen for a long time. She's in this sort of mode of she's had far too much to drink, but she feels like just the one more will be enough just to knock her out. But in this frame of mind, she's thinking back into history, thinking back to things that happened to her in the past, and this was quite an important part of her life with this particular person that she's referenced. So yeah, you just get a feeling that she wants to see it, not wants to steal it.
Okay. I would like to kind of bump Bonnie, pull the note out, and have Bonnie fly over to her. So Bonnie can get a good look at her, too.
Okay. So Bonnie sort of crawls up from over your shoulder, the note, like, tucked in her mouth. Flies over and lands. A lot of these little guys are landing on people's shoulders. This lands on a lap. And then Bonnie just sort of sits and the wings, like, fold in. Stares up at her. Takes a note out of her mouth. Sort of holds it tight in a little fist. And she says to Hylia, who's looking down at the minute, her eyes are slightly glazy, and the natural thaumaturgy that the tieflings have when she's this inebriated is rather difficult to control. So her eyes are just naturally just slightly just changing colour from the natural colour of her eyes, which is like a deep black, and it just fades into a purple, and then a blue, and a little bit of yellow, and a red with a bit of steam coming off, and then it goes back to black again. So Bonnie's sort of having a bit of a hard time, it's like reading, and she just flat out says outright, "Are you friend?" And Haley looks down, and her eyes come back under control. Like, shakes her head slightly. She opens out a palm, and Bonnie just walks on, and she lifts her up. To your mistress and her friends, I am a friend. Bonnie just turns around and looks directly back at you, Bird, and just says, "She's fine." And just hands her the note. Oh, we've lost Isha's camera.
Oh, I see him. Oh, he's frozen.
What? Who's frozen?
You, mate.
You are.
We've got failed. I've got failed to start camera having issues with video calls on the screen.
Oh no! Hang on.
Oh,
You're speaking, but your
Screen
mouse
setting.
isn't moving.
there he is.
There
There
it
he
is.
is. There he is.
There you go.
I switched cameras to the front camera and everything back.
So she now has a note. And
Yeah.
you see her. She gets lost in it for a moment, for about 30 seconds. She, her very, like, perfectly manicured nails are just running over the parchment as if she's definitely seen this before. And she opens it very delicately, and then she just looks at the words. She doesn't say them. And then Virgil comes upstairs. And he sort of like he breaks the gentle silence with his rambunctious voice that sometimes he uses. Captain, I thought you were going to bed now. Where are you? Oh, sorry. Sorry, did I interrupt something? And he looks down at the note and sees the note, and immediately walks over and just sort of perches next to Ilea, and he says, "Indigo." And Ilea looks up at him and smiles. Says, "Sorry, I'll explain. person who wrote this note was one of the most feared yet respected pirates to sail the... His name was Electa Indigo. He had a vessel, very famous vessel. It's called the Ruma. Singularly beautiful tabaxi, black fur, yellow eyes, moved like shadow. We met her about 15 years ago. One of the first jobs that me and Virgil ever did. Electa was one of those people that never did anything by halves. If she wanted something, she would just take it. She was capable of taking it. Virgil leans in a little bit further and just sort of drapes his arm around her shoulders. Mainly to hold her still, because she's starting to sway just a little bit too much. And she's going to tell you a story. Just a brief story. Because we were lucky enough to be hired by the crew of the Ruma, Electa's ship, for a mission to take some valuable items from a rather toxic nobleman who was bleeding the people of his town dry. He was a trader of sorts, leathers, armor, etc. He also dabbled in more exotic spices. He was called Nair's Tyagog, a vile man, one whom had a very punchable face, you know. So, the plan was to take a collection of priceless Eotokaran relics, tablets made from the iridescent stone with carvings of a language we'd never seen before. We were told it was ancient Eotokaran text. Sounded very expensive. We made for the shattered enclave off the coast of Okasha. It was rumored he had a hideout on the island of Koratesh. Now, finding this island, like finding a bullet in a pile of bullets. But Electa had a nose for this kind of thing. She quickly took the wheel from a navigator and pulled the ship into port into a neighboring island, a spit of land called Safri. We quickly disembarked under cover of night and swam to shore on Koratesh. The island was lit up with torches, watchtowers, spiked barricades. It was clear that Nares did not want any unwanted visitors to this place. Unfortunately for him, he had many that night. There was a large mansion house on the highest part of the island. On the lower sections there was a series of tents, small shacks, all heavily guarded. Electa beckoned us to a clump of bushes nearby that she had found to hide. Now, normally, you think items such as the ones we seek would be kept in the main house. This man is a clever one, so he may have hidden them in one of these smaller tents or shacks to tempt someone to search the house. There's no doubt guarded even more securely, and one may capture inevitable. Well, he's going to get both chances to take us, as we're going to search both the encampment and the house. Leave all your swords, crossbows, and guns. Take only daggers, blow darts. We're gonna be sneaky. And with that, she slinked off into the shadows, and before we barely got out of the bushes, there was at least 6 guards down, unconscious. And we could hear the faint click of a lock opening. Electa exited one of the outbuildings with a small sack and gave it to one of her crew. In a flash, she was gone again. Virgil and I took it on ourselves to search some of the tents by the beach. Low guard presence. It took us a few minutes to subdue the guards and search the tent, but we found a good deal of paperwork, some ledgers, a small amount of coin. A good haul for our first venture. As we came out of the tent, Electa and her crew were smoking pipes, sat on several sacks of what we could only assume was loot, surrounded by unconscious guards, and she was tapping her clawed hand on a leather satchel in her lap. She said, "So, you managed those 3 guards, right?" I started to ask her what happened, and she told me everything was an equal share. The items had been acquired, and Tyre Garg would not be extorting any of the locals for a good long while. I asked where he was, and she gestured up to the house. There was a flagpole atop a bell tower, and there, tied to it, was the figure of a man struggling with his own bindings, gagged, most definitely defeated. He was one of the most noble criminals I ever met, most worthy of the name she was known to be as, the Apparition. When we heard word her ship had sunk off the coast of Solitary, we went looking for her. She never surfaced. Wherever she is, I hope she's plotting her revenge. And then she just goes quiet for a second or two, and Virgil just sort of puts his arms on her shoulders and lifts her to standing. I think this lady needs a bit of sleep now. I'll bid you good night. And he takes her away. He waves, but then trips.
Bye.
But then trips almost, and he has to grab her and sort of pick her back up again, and helps her back down the stairs to the captain's quarters. To leave you back to your devices.
That was some story.
Yeah. What have we gotten into?
Isha, have you heard of the rumor?
I was just about to ask.
Make an intelligence check, or intelligence or history, your choice.
Okay. Just double checking which is higher.
I gave you the choice.
I'll do history. Would the Let me roll first, then I got a question.
Yeah, go.
Nat 20.
Yeah, boy.
Let's go.
Yeah, boy. What was your question?
Would the timelines line up if they would have been to the brawl that I sent you?
Ooh. Bear with me.
The what?
The what now?
Oh crap! I can't check it because it's on Discord at the minute. Not much of Discord. What? The timeline of what? The her ship sinking?
Would Isha's attendance of those events, would they have interacted in some sense? Would like the rumor be at this when Isha was there? Is my question.
Okay.
I probably would not have interacted with this person, but we would have been in the same area, is what I'm asking.
I'm going to say with a nat 20 that yes. But you wouldn't, as you said, you wouldn't necessarily have interacted with the person. You definitely, just a sec, I'm having trouble with, I'm the only camera that's moving on the stream right now. Everyone else is frozen, but on Discord, you're all moving fine.
Sure.
Oh, I'm making
'Cause
a face.
I can go into detail about that brawl and give them, if you'd like, to give them an idea.
You can, by all means. I just want to make sure that your cameras are moving because currently they're not, and Elwyn is making a very funny face.
It's so weird.
Let me just see if I can just transition to the screen and then go back. Everyone's moving again. Please continue.
Okay, so the question was like if I knew of the ship.
Yeah.
You absolutely knew the ship. The captain of your boat, sorry, ship. Oh, that was a Jack Sparrow line, wasn't it? Sorry.
You're Jack Sparrow.
It's such a pretty boat. Nope, ship.
Yep.
These are Norwegian black guts out. Yeah, your captain told stories of this woman like he was telling stories about a god. Anyone who has sailed the seas has heard of Electra Indigo and her. The thing is, when she were to board a ship, it's almost like you just wanted to give her stuff because she was so charming. Even though you'd never seen her before, and it was clearly under threat of you may get killed if you don't give me all your loot. But she did it in such a way that you wanted to marry her because she was so unbelievably just like she exhumed attractiveness. Everyone loved her, including the people that she killed a lot of people. She was a criminal, but they all died with smiles on their faces. If you know what I mean, they were happy to go that way, just in the afterlife to say, "Oh yeah, Electra Indigo got me." Yeah. So, but as far as the timelines linking up, I'd say that you were definitely sort of like to pardon the pun, ships that crossed in the night. But you unfortunately never were able to either board or meet this wonderful lady, and her current whereabouts are unknown. Her ship very much did sink off the coast of Solitary, where you've been. There have been several tries to go down and try and investigate the ship in the past, but it's now rumored to be the home of creatures who don't necessarily like unwanted guests. But however, the ship remains. As for Electra Indigo, we don't know where she is.
So, with Isha contemplating and hearing all that, just out of just meta, Isha in character will say that I've never been fortunate to meet the crew or the captain of the rumor itself, but since we are the crew of the Corsair, it's high time that I share with you the Crimson Tide Brawl. And that is the only time I've ever been fortunate to even witness the ship. The Crimson Tide Brawl happens only on the Blood Moon. And any notable crew with any prestige attends this festival. There's no killing, but there is a lot of unconscious people. There is gambling, there's ale, tents of so many colors. And it's really where you see which crews have the merit to sail the seas with any sort of air about them that you don't mess with them. And I was fortunate enough to be initiated in the Aurora by joining that brawl. was not a very fun time for me, in the sense that I was knocked out second round. But I will say the rumor and its crew were ferocious, and they always made it to the finals. They knew what they were about.
You know what? With a natural 20, what I will say is that when you were in your state of double black eye, blood running from both nostrils and barely conscious, she never fought. Her crew fought for her, because of course they did.
Mm.
It was Electra Indigo, and whatever she said, it was absolutely yes with no equivocation. You do actually remember at that brawl when you came out of the ring or pit. On one of the sides there was always a very feminine black cat, legs up on the stool in front of her, which was occupied by another person, but as I said, it's Electra Indigo, they don't care. Her feet could have been on their shoulders and they wouldn't say a word. And very much like Hylia, always just with a glass in her hand and a twinkle in her eye. Every now and again she'd sort of like lick one of the long canine teeth out of her mouth. Constantly winking at people. Huge hat. That should be really floppy, but it just stayed taut. Massive frilled side. Almost like a fedora, but too big. But you were, like, barely conscious at the time.
For the group, I gave a description that our DM has, but this is a more in-depth description of the brawl to give you a better idea of what it looks like. Or at least just picked it as.
Oh. This was your 4th location? You got 3 before you got here?
Yeah, so
Oh my god.
those are for later.
He came through swinging.
No, I only have 2.
There is no rush. There is no rush.
You say that.
He
Right.
has 0 for me, if that makes you feel better.
Do not mind. I know.
You're arting yours.
Oh, I've just to pause a second. I've got that image that you sent me printed off, and the frame's on its way.
Aw.
That's going on my wall.
I love it. Good.
What I'm planning on doing is behind me, where these 2 pictures of New York are. They're coming down, and your artwork's going up.
Aww.
I want it hung behind me when we play the game.
Yay!
Get more, because
When we
It's hung up.
get there, so it's not a major spoiler, I will give you more.
I'm so excited. My gosh.
Right. Sorry to interrupt. So, the deck of the ship is yours once more.
I don't know why I'm so sleepy today.
I'm so tired.
You have a reason.
Are you wanting to continue this conversation, or do you think you may want to retire for the evening and start again anew next day?
I think Bird definitely is ready for a long rest, but I think she is going to kind of speak up and say,
Oh shit, you're at 6 hit points.
yeah.
You're tired, girl.
I did go down, I think, at one point in the cave.
Yeah, you did.
But anyway. Bird just wants to say, I know I've already caused some issues, and I don't want to continue being an issue. I can't really, I guess I shouldn't share about all of that, but I do feel kind of bad. You guys all have this magic that you're like running from, and that's how I got myself into this mess. Is I wanted adventure and I wanted magic, and I didn't want to be the perfect elf and be at court and help, keep the city running like my parents did. And I just want to apologize and hope nothing else bad happens because I made a poor choice.
But you know how your magic works, though, right?
I know how I got it. I know this. I mean, I know spells. I know what I can do. So yeah, I guess I do know what it does. I don't really know how. I don't know what happens eventually, though.
Well, just be careful, Bird.
I'm trying.
The black stone hanging around your neck just starts to pulse ever so faintly with a green hue. It's like a heart. It's like a very, very slow heartbeat.
Can anyone else notice that?
Everyone else make a perception check to see if you can see it. I'm pretty sure
Somebody can.
Elowen with a 20 will probably pick it up. But that's passive.
I rolled a 5.
16.
22.
Yes. Yeah, you can see the gem starting to pulse. You can also see when you guys were below deck and your bird was having the episode where it got dangerous for a second. When Tad sort of confronted her afterwards about what went on, or was about to, and he saw like a green outlined veil behind her, as the rest of you also saw that as well. You see that starting to creep back in behind her. You do also hear the very, very faint whinny. Does that stone just pulse? Never done this before.
I think I have to go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take off down to like my room.
Okay.
I'll look at Isha and Open be like, well, that was horrifying.
As she goes,
But the conversation was nice.
Sorry, as she goes, it's almost like she turns around and walks through mist, as that image just dissipates into nothing. But you definitely saw the outline of a otherworldly being, shall we say?
Would Opal know what that is?
Make a Arcana check. Or history. No, not history. No, Arcana.
Arcana.
Yes.
21.
Ooh. Specifically the entity that it is, no. But you do know that certain magical practitioners, the way in which they contact their arcane power is via a link and a pact with an already existing, normally either archfey or some sort of creature of immense power. Now, in this case, it definitely looked fey. Hate you, but you've been around Bird for a little bit now. You've noticed what kind of magic that But yeah, this thing that looks like it's almost like tethered to her. I'm sort of giving the image very much like Percy with the black smoke with Orthax behind him. Not in such pronounced detail, but you know that there's something there. This is not like black smoke coming out of her nostrils and her ears and her eyes and everything like this. This is just like a almost like, in a way, it's almost like the Traveller, but it's sinister in nature. This is not a friendly thing. So yeah, you get an inkling that you kind of have an idea where her magic may come from, but not necessarily the exact entity.
I'm worried about her, guys.
Yeah, what? That thing was probably not friendly.
Like, I've done a lot of research looking for where magic comes from. And sometimes people make a pact of some kind with something really powerful, and it's not always good. Sometimes they get tricked, and I'm worried maybe Bird had something wrong. She we just need to be careful.
Yeah. So our to-do list is just find and save Creel,
Yes.
get both of your magic under control, get Bird away from this horrifying, traumatizing, terrifying entity that can be behind her sometimes, figure out what the fuck is going on with Tad and his rock, and keep me hidden. No problem.
We got this.
Got this. Shot. My nipple.
As Elowen grabs the fire whiskey bottle and just chugs.
Shot. On that note, I almost died today. I think I'm gonna go to bed.
Bed is a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go find a different place to sleep.
It's fair. I'm just gonna message Bird because I don't want to bother her, but I am gonna message her something along the lines of just like, I just want to communicate that I understand what it's like to have expectations and want something different. Like there would have been a time in Olen's life where she was like, yeah, going out and having adventures and doing other fun things would be better than being, whatever. So I'm gonna send you a message, something 25 words that has to do with that.
Okay.
But I can't, my brain's not working today. I don't have the right meds today.
You can
Brain's
reply
not
to this
functioning.
message.
Yes.
You're
So-
doing fantastic.
Since she did hear her, I wanted to run away from the group, get down to like my cot, bed, whatever. And I do kind of want to try to hold on to that and see if I can't talk to her.
Okay.
So is it still pulsing? Is it
Very, very, very gently. It's like if it was human, the heart would be beating like 6 times a minute or something. It's just a very slow pulse.
I shut the door. I don't know if I'm rooming with anyone or not. I shut the door, kind of put Bonnie at the door, and just tell her, give me a second.
I will stand guard. Tiny little.
She wants to take the opportunity because she hasn't heard her since the whole event.
No, it's been a while.
So she wants to focus on the beating. I need you I need. I've longed for adventure and I've longed for magic. You gave that magic to me. You need me. I need you. But these people need me and I need them. I need to talk to them about you. May I talk about you to them? They can't trust me. I need them. And you need me.
As you're actually gripping the stone in your hand right now, make a persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
15.
15. So you hold the stone, and you can see like the green energy just sort of like just coming from the gaps between your fingers as you grip it tightly. Your entire palm starts to glow green slightly, pulse. But you can feel like the vibration of it now, only faintly, but it's there, and you never felt that before either. And after a few moments, green veil just appears in front of you, and then you see those large eyes, that very pointed face, and then the clothes start to take on more of the form, the torn threads. All of a sudden you see before you, almost all there, the entity made a pact with. She hovers in front of you. She sort of like lowers herself down so she's head level to yours, and says to you, "Oh, Winnie, I need you. No, I saved you. You need me more than I can even imagine to tell you. You'll do my bidding for as long as I want bidding. As far as your question, talk about me to your new little friends up there. Tell them what you want. Won't change anything between. Need to get to work. Need to find out what that thing round your neck is. 'Cause it's important. Come back to me when you have something." And then the image of her doesn't gently go away, it shatters. As if like a glass pane has just broken in front of you, and you can physically see like energy slamming into the wood at either side of the room and almost causing damage, but then it does disappear and there's no damage to the walls. But it's like a very loud just she goes.
Just gonna look at Bonnie.
Bonnie is she's guarding the door, but she has a look of concern on her face. That she hasn't had before. She just sort of like just trots up.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I guess that was a yes to my question. She saved me. That's not how I remember it. I think we need a rest. And I will take my trance.
Yeah, sleep is good. And she just flops into like your armpit, just guzzles up. Wings folding over like a blanket, and she takes her little trance as well. Are you all finding your respective bedrooms and taking a nap, shall we say?
Yes.
So you all disappear
Did we
from
get a
the...
full rest?
Sorry?
You get a full long rest?
You do, yes.
Okay.
As you all go to your respective places of peace aboard this ship. Yep. Long rest is achieved. No bad dreams or anything. Nothing goes bump in the night. So all hit points are restored, all spells restored. Everything's back to full. And as you awake the next morning, as there is actually a cockerel on this ship that makes a lot of noise when the sun comes up, which I will not do because I cannot do the noise of a cockerel. We're going to take our break there.
Okay.
Because that was nearly 2 hours of RP, guys. That was really good. Very nice storytelling. Right, we shall return in about 5 minutes' time, so remember to mute your microphones, and we shall be back shortly. Soon. Okay, guys. Sorry, Bri, I tried to get you when you weren't actively putting the spoon in your mouth.
What do you mean? I'm just shoveling strawberries into my face.
Right, welcome back, everyone.
I got chips and salsa.
Oh, yum.
Banana chips.
I just read the message on the chat. I was really hoping a page would just be cool for 1 second. Nope. She's a bitch, and she knows it. Right, so I've just had to just to remember I had to reset Tad, so he's now had a long rest as well. Level of exhaustion gone. Back up to full hit points and everything else wonderful things. Right, so we are now waking up on the next morning. Is there anything that you want to accomplish on this day, specifically? You have 2 days now sailing on open waters before we meet, before we actually arrive at Orstans. So there's going to be 2 days. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and expedite the days.
Okay.
I'll ask one of you to roll a d20 just to find out if anything actually happens on those days specifically. And if it's just clear skies and everything's fine and rosy, then it's up to you if you want to accomplish something that day, or you can just skip basically to the next one. So we can just clip along and we can get towards done. So I'm not saying we have to clip along. If there's something you want to do or accomplish or write or ask or anything, by all means, the game is yours. But as you all come to consciousness, I'd like one of you to please roll a d20. I don't mind who it is.
It's fine.
I'll do it. I'll will a dragon into existence.
Oh, God. Oh, no, you would.
Any modifiers?
Nope.
4.
4.
Oh, no, that's the worst one.
Second. Okay. Roll a d6 for me, please.
Oh,
no.
no.
3.
Is it Cthulhu?
Not quite.
The dragon. It's the dragon I just mentioned.
Ukatoa.
Ukatoa.
Right, so the day starts off relatively normally. Nice clear blue skies.
Not a good sign.
Nothing really to report, to be quite honest with you. What are you guys doing? Are you milling around where you are? Are you going up on the main deck of the ship? People are bustling now. There's crew up there doing what they do, tying off ropes, securing ballast, all fixing the sails, swabbing the decks, all those good things.
I'm finding a workstation.
All right. Relatively simple to do. There are several on ship.
And I'm working on building stuff.
What are you building? Oh no, is it your project that you're going for?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So is there something specific you're working on at the minute, or is it just the overall project that you're wanting to accomplish?
The overall project that I'm working on, I guess I'm working on the body.
Okay.
Or the head, maybe something easy to transport in a backpack.
Right. Okay. So,
Normal.
like we discussed in private, what I'm going to do, because this doesn't necessarily need to remain private, is I'm going to approach this how Matt and Taliesin approached Percy's gun. So we're going to do a series of tinkering checks over a certain amount of time to find out whether you are either successful or unsuccessful on the accomplishment that you want to do. So, for the first time, I'd like you to make a tinkering check, please. So, basically, roll a d20, add your dexterity and proficiency modifier.
Okay.
And tell me what you get.
1. Where's my proficiency modifier?
Your level is just +2. So whatever your dex is... Actually, no. I don't want to change dexterity to intelligence. Because this is more of an
Okay.
intelligence-based skill check for you.
Oh, there, I
rather.
see it. Okay, so... I rolled a 16.
16, right, okay.
Yeah.
So mark down that's a success.
Okay.
However long it takes us to get to the requisite level where you have actually achieved this particular item, I'm probably going to go through either 4 or 5 checks. So this has been your first one, and that was a success.
Okay.
So mark down you've got a thumbs up on the first one.
Okay.
So whatever you wanted to accomplish in the body or the head, any sort of mechanics or cogs or wheels or anything you wanted to do has been successful. You don't know yet when you fully assemble this article if it's going to either function perfectly or there's going to be some problems. But with a 16, it's a mild success, but it's a success nevertheless.
Okay.
All right. The DC is going to increase on every check that you make. So towards the end, the last one will essentially be the most difficult. But it's not increasing by much, but there's going to be incremental changes.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So successful tinkering.
On today.
Anybody else wanted to do something in a minute?
Isha wants to do 2 things. One, interact with Toby to start teaching him the
Be a
ropes.
sidekick.
The ropes.
Like literal
Literal
Teaching him the ropes, yeah. The knots.
How to be a superhero
And then,
sidekick out there, man.
What's the other thing?
I hope not. This is gonna be a one and done deal.
Everybody's getting a little
Um,
friend and Isha's jealous.
I'm my
And
own
then,
little friend.
journal. The sketchbook. I'm gonna
Right.
interact and proceed with that as well.
Okay. We'll do Toby first.
Okay.
You search through the ship, and the last time that you saw him, you know that he was with the strange little blue imp. It seems to be on fire. Udrov, highly is familiar. Seems to have taken him again to charge upon, literally under his wing. So you make your way down to the weapon deck, where the cannons are stored, as well as all the gunpowder and cannonballs, and there is the little blue imp, and he's giving people instructions on what to do in some sort of language that you do not understand. But they're in a hat that's way, way too big for him, and clothing that is starting to look incredibly haggard. He's Toby, stood by one of the cannons, giving you to polish with a cloth.
Hey there, kiddo. I'm actually really glad that I'm seeing you on the ship.
Me too. I have a cannon.
I see that. They haven't taught you how to shoot it yet, have they? I hope not.
He sort of
he sort
of gives that look that he looks at Udro as if to say, "Should I tell him or not?" And then looks back at you and just says, "No." As it just make a perception check really quick.
We're so bad at this.
10 with my bonus.
That's fine. It was a low DC
That's fine.
anyway. You can see already all over his hands there are just scorch marks
Oh my
of,
god.
Oh no.
of poor attempts of actually putting the fuse in correctly and tried to light it. It's just poof, gone back on his hands. So he sort of when he touches stuff, his hands sort of like have to spring off really quickly because it hurts. But he's persevering. But as to your knowledge, he's never fired a cannon in his life. But looking down at his hands,
Okay.
you know he's full of shit. But he's 8.
Isha, Isha will just smile and nod and completely understand what's happening. He will then take some cloth and wrap Toby's hands. And after he's got Toby's hands all wrapped up, he's gonna pull a dagger from his boot, and he's gonna give that to Toby.
He does take a step back initially when you pull a blade on him. But then he realizes that you are actually handing him this. Udro actually steps in front, or so it like floats in front, as in a like a mark of protection against him. Because when he sees the dagger come out, he thought he was in a threatening manner. But then when you turn it over and like offer, it pops back. He screams something in your face in again language you don't understand. But then he backs off and. Toby reaches up and grabs the handle, because I assume you turn it round so you hold the blade and the handles for him. Takes the handle.
Yeah.
And just immediately looks around him and sees a pineapple and stabs it. And then looks back up at you and says, "Is that right?"
Is that right?
A little more. You want a little bit more oomph, and then like Isha will like do the same thing to the pineapple, and essentially show him how to hold the dagger right.
Okay, make a performance check for me.
The new series of children's books. If you give a kid a dagger.
19.
Oh yeah.
He'll cut a
Stab it some pineapple.
Stab it into pineapple.
So like Ducard teaching a young Bruce Wayne. You without the ice shelf, of course, that you have to fight on. Unfortunately, you teach him the proper stance of how to stand, and actually use his body to activate some more power when he's doing the thrust on the dagger. You tell him how to hold the dagger correctly, so he's got a loose grip, not a hard grip, so he doesn't hurt himself when he uses the blade. Teach him how to swing his hips correctly and stand shoulder width apart, so he's got a nice base. And so on and so forth. After a few more goes, he's decimated quite a bit of fruit. And he's looking incredibly happy with himself. He seems to have forgotten about the cannon altogether now. He's just wanting things to stab.
Isha goes and says, "Make sure you eat the fruit that you just cut. Don't leave a mess." And
Brilliant.
he then gets on his knees and he gets on level with Toby and goes, "Now that dagger, it's special. Okay?
Okay.
My captain gave it to me. Taught me how to stab fruit just like you did. But only use it when you are absolutely sure you are in danger. Okay?
And for fruit.
And for fruit, yes."
Okay. Is he just one more banana, just
we made a pirate.
Arr.
He just stands up, puts the pirate hat back on Toby's head, and he walks out.
You just see the bottom of his nose and the rest of his mouth. His eyes are completely covered until he punches it up with his fist. He's actually within a very short space of time, you've actually taught him to be quite adept with. You don't know what he did when he was on his home island. You don't know how much his father was actually in his life. And he actually was quite accomplished and quite dexterous with his hands, and quite skillful and artistic. So after a few brief lessons in this sort of let's say an hour that you spent with him below deck, as you give him his final sort of instruction of just make sure you use this weapon in order if it this is like the Mr. Miyagi sort of for defense only. Never for attack. And you see him twizzle the blade between his fingers, and then he's able to put it into his into his trousers quite nicely, quite cleanly. Yeah, so he's a happy boy, but then he sees the cannon again.
Back at it.
The hat comes off, and now he can use a dagger to start to cut the rope to the correct length in order to make the fuses. So he turns back and he cuts one, and then he sort of shows it to you as you're walking away and go. Puts it in. That's a pack of powder.
Isha just he just goes he's tries just puts a finger over his lips and he closes the door. So he doesn't want no part of that once that happens.
You just hear this. You just hear this this low, and you don't know whether that was actual proper cannon fire or that he failed again. You probably think if you open the door, you're just gonna see he's just got a black face full of soot.
And with that, Isha just leaves him with his devices.
Nice. Toby's a pirate.
I think after his interaction with Toby, he will go back to the deck and he will try to see if he can find anything on the horizon, be it a random island, birds, anything that he could really just focus on and use to sketch.
Let me have a quick look. Direction you're heading now. Well, you're able to see. Well, make a perception check. Let's do it how it should be done. Let's roll a dice.
5.
You can see the remnants of Shanti Isle disappearing into the distance behind you. You can also see to the starboard side a little bit of solitary. Well, as you're heading in the other direction now, back towards Orsdance. You can see a little bit of Minstrel Cay, the island that houses Orsdance, coming into this as well. So you're on all three triangular sides. You are surrounded by land masses that are either disappearing from view or hoving into view.
I think Isha will just take a seat on the railing of the ship and open the sketchbook to find Bird's message that she left him.
Okay. You can also see, of course, not as clearly as you can at night, but during the day it just looks like just a shaft of light. You can see the sword just glistening on the very edge of the horizon in the distance. The spire. At night, because of the beam of light that emits from the top of it, it also lights up the inside where the crystal part of the metal is. You can see the entire thing, but during the day, it just seems like one long just shaft of light that's just firing up from the Earth's crust, from Thoria's crust, way into the sky. So you've just got this it's quite beautiful to behold. Looks like just radiance at its best.
I think Isha would really focus with that and draw a few of the islands with that in the background of the islands. So it's just an art piece of you see these natural and serene islands, but it comes just with this huge spire of that energy in just looming over them is the sort of art piece that Isha is creating.
Okay.
And while he's working on it, he sees the note from Bird on a different page. He flips through and notices it. And he gets the idea to tear that page out and reply to her. And what he'll say is, let's reread what it was. I'm not sure if I can ask about your patron and why they are not happy. But is it something that you are wanting to be part of? Are you okay in that regard? And he'll fold that up as tight as he can. He'll look around to make sure nobody was keeping eyes on him. And he will walk down into the ship and see if he can get Bonnie to deliver the message to her.
Okay. So you get to the door that you know Bird is behind. Little tap with the knuckles on the wood. Just hear it. Only very slightly, and then you look and there's no one there, but you look down and Bonnie is there, wings flapping ever so slightly. And then she sees you and opens the door and automatically just floats up, so she's back up to you. Oh, hello, friend.
Bonnie, I have a mission for you.
A wings like
And
go quicker.
He'll pull out the note, and it's folded as tight as he can, so it's tiny enough for Bonnie to hold. Can you keep this a secret from the others, but make sure that Bird gets it?
Yes, and just rips it out your hands. She flies up. She flies up to the ceiling of the roof, and automatically just opens it and just starts to read. And then it's done in a matter of seconds, and she closes it back up again. And she floats back down. Something that you're starting to notice about Bonnie now that she's been around for several days, I think. It's only days.
Yeah.
But she almost seems to, when she reacts to something, her colouring changes slightly. You know, she's a little bit like a mood ring. So when she is excited and so on, she sort of gets like this orangey sort of like glow to her. But then when she's scared, it drops into like blues and purples. Green is very neutral. But at the minute she's popping a little bit of orange. You just light up again, like someone's just turned a light bulb on inside. Just goes boom. So she's very excited, and you just see her just fly back towards where Bird is currently sleeping. As you close the door quietly.
And I will try my darndest not to be loud going back up the stairs. And
oh, what's that?
Just
What do you think it is?
Is that Bonnie?
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome!
It's so cute.
Oh God, please send me that, please. Please.
She's the best.
That's gorgeous. Right. Sorry, I just went into a.
That was great though. We got to see bodies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I just asked Shelly, like, do you want them to see that? 'Cause now's a good time.
That's so good. Okay, is that you? Are you done, Isha?
Yeah, Isha would just get to work and just really get into like the crew in the sense of making sure that everything's taken care of and just doing regular errands that the crew would be doing to get to work.
The rolls that you made earlier with the D20 and the D6. Sorry, before I get to that, does anyone else want to accomplish anything during this morning, shall we say?
No, I was thinking Elowin she's feeling very emotionally exposed right now.
A little bit.
So usually she would go with sword time, but I think she probably found herself like sitting on the workbench wherever Opal's working and just like hanging out and watching her tinker and listening to her talk about what she's doing, and just a way to kind of keep her mind off the fact that, oh my god, people actually know information I've been trying to keep secret for a very long time.
Distract me, please.
Don't have to do anything with that, but Opal is so
reassuring.
Yeah. She's such a calming presence, and she's like the warm, huggy, lovey person, and the kind of energy that I think Elowin would want to be around. So she would just be kind of hanging out.
Cute.
Yeah.
I don't think Bird's doing anything special or exciting. I know at one point I had a skull from a skeleton that I kind of like tucked away. When she gets out of her trance, she's just gonna like mortar and pestle and get that down to a bone dust just for later usage. But
that's normal.
She's everything.
Horrifying.
Everything's fine.
Saved me. That's what she said.
Fucking warlocks.
True. She's in a mood, so that's all she's doing.
That's why Elowin's sitting with Opal. He's like, oh my god, she's crunching up bones, talking to herself. Warlocks are crazy.
Nothing to see here.
Opal's up too.
She's not blinking for 3
I think
hours.
Bonnie will wait until I'm more chill to
Yeah.
pass that on.
Oh yeah. She when Isha left, she was still like nice and orange, and then when she turned around and saw you, she just went purple. She's like, nope. So she's just chilling in the rafters, just reading a little note back and forwards, just doing what she does.
I'm fine.
Everything's fine.
So, what does the ship do? I'm curious.
It's fine. It's fine.
Everything's fine. Yeah. Going back to the rolls that you made. The weather just started to change. Slightly for the worse, shall we say? And you start to hear not just rain, but heavy rain, even heavier rain. It's starting to sound like nails are falling from the sky, and battering the wood above you. And then you start to hear a bell ringing on the main deck. People are starting to run around, and things are going mental. And then you just start to hear this. What would be nails now start to sound like it's almost like stones hitting the deck. Does anyone start to venture to the top deck of the ship?
Opal looks to Elowin and goes, should we go find out what's going on?
Should we? Yeah. Do we have to? Probably also yes.
Well, the bell ring is also accompanied with help. So, you know.
All right.
Yeah, we should probably go find out.
Do you have like a little something like a metal ball?
Something in a rain mac.
I find a piece of metal that's big enough for both of us to hold over our heads.
I thought you were going to make it into like a dual tin hat then. I thought like you could both wear.
She doesn't have time for that.
Yeah. Just in case there's actually something that could damage a 2-foot tall person that's falling from the sky.
Well, you know.
Yeah. So we could peek our head out. We're just gonna peek our heads out the hatch. Just the two of us between two the metal and the
metal first and then eyes.
Yes.
Come
One
for
big set of eyes. One smaller set
one,
of
one,
eyes.
one eyes
And
with
then
tinkering
Rocky
glasses.
right there.
Yeah.
Rocky's right between us, looking out.
Draw that immediately.
Two
Yeah,
tiny
that
little
needs
two
art.
tiny little hands, and
Yeah.
Bonnie's head just goes
Yep.
to have a
Yep.
look. You can see a hailstorm happening above you that you've to the size you've never witnessed before. These things are like tennis balls coming down, and they are just battering onto the ship. You can see the
They're really
crew are
low.
going mental. These things are like almost cutting through ropes, and the ballast is starting to swing and shift across
They
the
absolutely
boat
will.
itself. The bell's still ringing. Virgil is still ringing the bell to try and get as many crew back up onto the ship. And then from below you just start to hear footsteps and more footsteps and more footsteps as the crew now pushes past you and flies up. So the hatch now swings open and the hail starts to fly in. I need whoever's peeking through the hatch to make a dexterity saving throw.
You put Bonnie there.
I did,
I
didn't I?
need
17.
17.
11. Do I need to roll for Rocky?
No.
Okay. But Opal's trying to cast mending on anything she can.
Yeah, that's good. That's a cantrip.
That's
You can just fire it
Bonnie
off
got
as
a
often as you want to.
15.
15. Right.
15, yeah, I had
Yeah.
to pull her step out. I
She
should probably write
she
this down.
succeeds.
so
She
anything on the
succeeds.
ship that's breaking, Opal's trying to fix as it breaks.
She succeeds. Right. So you're casting mending to see if you can fix things. It's only like a very slight fix. So if one of the balls goes like into and splinters one of the decks, you need to cast it like several times to start to see something starts to form. But you do see the wood start to reform slightly, start to strengthen back up again. Is anyone actually going through the hatch and onto deck?
I'm not, because I feel like that's gonna kill me.
That's what I was gonna say. That's gonna cave our skulls in.
Right. Understandable.
Our head is
Understandable.
big as the hail.
Understandable. When the last crew member's gone up onto the deck, Bonnie just goes and grabs it and shuts the door. And she just looks at you all and goes, no. But you can just hear absolute chaos above you, and then you hear Virgil just shout, Captain! Harpies! And then you hear the screech of like a feminine bird creature just start to come down. Right. What I'm going to do is we're going to roll initiative, but I'm not going to pull a map up. We're just going to do like theater of the mind sort of thing.
Like we did with the skeletons.
Okay.
Like we did with the skeletons. Yeah.
That went really well.
It did.
Oh my god. Oh.
Ooh, nice.
Oh yeah, I got
Oh, we're
roll.
doing it.
Ooh.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, heck yeah.
Well, you didn't roll a dragon. You could have.
That was an option?
You could have.
Well, close enough. I mean, they're both winged.
He didn't roll a dragon. He just rolled meteors and harpies.
Flying death. Yeah.
Is that what your notes say? Flying death?
No. All my notes are lovely.
No.
No.
All my notes are rainbows and fluffy things. As if that was true. Right. 25 to 20.
Dirty 20.
Okay. 20 to 15.
17.
19.
19. Yeah. 17 for you, Opal.
Mm-hmm.
Bird?
15.
15, yeah.
Oh.
Ooh!
No.
Whoop.
Oh. Tad got a natural 20.
Sad, yeah. Of course he did.
Oh,
Of course, Dad did.
I rolled a 15 and I'm still going last.
My dex is probably better than Tad's though, so I'll probably.
In what universe? My God, he's got a +7 to
in the
his
same
initiative.
universe, he's got better perception.
Right, I have
Yeah.
I have an initiative counter that I've written out, and basically what I do is I just use an eraser and just rub it out and write the names in the other place every time. But the numbers remain. I've written 25 at the top, but he just got a 27.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So I'm now going to put 26 and 27 at the top of the page.
Tad.
What up, danger? Right. So it's it's Tad first. Jacob, I can make no promises, but I will.
It's his own fault.
I will try and keep you safe, my friend.
Just gonna rogue doing rogue stuff.
I hate being in charge of somebody else's characters. Rogue doing rogue shit. Right. I have to bring like laptop number 7 through in front of me now to see his character page. Dagger. Nope. Should have looked at this before. Oh, heck yes. Right, Tad is going to just open the door of the hatch very, very slightly, where he will see one of the harpies haven't landed on ship yet. What they're doing is just taking sweeps and dives to try and get some of the crew off the deck of the ship. They're just dive bombing at the minute. So he's going to cast Chromatic Orb at these creatures. See if he hits. I need a bigger desk, guys. I need a bigger desk. Natural 16. Oh, yeah. Smashed it. Right, so. 3d8.
Jesus.
3d8 poison damage. Ooh! Nasty. 3.
That's terrifying.
Yep. Yep.
Ugh.
Yep.
I just rolled
Uh-oh.
3 8s.
Yeah.
Stop.
3 8s. On my metal dice. I've never done that in my life before. Wow. Thank you, Jacob. Right, 24 points of damage to that one singular thing. That is hurt. My God. So you see Ted just lifts it slightly. He just sort of like tracks it for a second, sticks his hand out, holding a diamond. He spins it, and then just at this like almost like arrow of acid just shoots out, and you can just see this harpy come down and just get smacked in the face with whatever that was, and just get blitzed backwards. You hear just as she hits into the deck of the ship and then hits into the railing, falls over the side. You hear this big splash as she hits into the water, and then the door closes once again. And he just looks back at you and goes, "Well, that worked." So that's the end of his go. 3 8s. Jesus.
Oh.
Okay, so it is Halloween.
Are any of the harpies within about 10 feet of each other?
Without opening the door, you won't know because the door's now closed.
Well, I can crack it.
Yeah.
Just crack it open and look. Yeah.
Just I'll give you a free action to make a perception check so you can see see where they are. Because I mean, the hail is pounding down, so your vision's not too good.
That is a dirty 20.
Oh, no, that's right. Yes, they are. There's the one that's just been blasted off the ship and fallen to the water. There are another 2 that are currently now mid-dive coming towards the deck. So they're about, I'd say, 5-10 feet from the door.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast Shatter in the middle of those 2 as they're coming down, but before they get, obviously, to where our people are. That's a Con 14 save.
Con 14 save. My part. Bear with me.
On that. 2.
Okay, that's a 9 for one of them, so that's a fail.
Okay.
And that is an 11 for the other one, so they both fail.
Okay, so they both take 14 points of thunder damage.
You remember being level 1?
Mm-hmm.
They both take 14 damage.
I love my new spells.
Jordan's frozen again.
Am I?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
There you
How's
are.
that?
There we go.
There you
There we
go,
go.
yeah.
There we go. Right.
That's my turn.
You come out and again, these 2 are just mid dive and they just get diverted like someone's just pushed them with almost like just shards of glass going towards them, and you get smacked back into the main mass of the ship and just sort of glide down, but then start to regain the flight again as you get back up. Yeah, you guys are messing these up. There is harpy blood in the air, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Isha.
I feel like Isha, when Elwyn goes up to do her thing, he's also gonna rush up onto deck, and he's gonna try and grab some rope that's on the deck and see if he could snatch one of the harpies and pull it down onto the deck so that the crew can take care of it.
You gonna lasso that motherfucker?
Yeah.
All right.
He said, all right.
Make a just make a dexterity check. Do a strength check for me.
Strength check, okay.
Just roll a d20, add your strength modifier, and also add your proficiency as well because you are a fighter.
Okay. So with the strength check and my proficiency, we're looking at a crispy 23.
So John Wayne lifts up the hatch and steps out. Very, very, very cool. He just reaches down. I mean, it's almost like you're just neoing through these boulders that are falling from the sky. They're just almost missing you as they fall behind you and in front of you, but you're just walking, just gliding, just being cool. You reach down, grab a rope, just start to wrap it around your hand. You throw the other side into the other hand. You basically throw up and catch the other end of it. Wrap it round and make a noose with one hand, and then throw. It goes round the harpy's neck, and it's just about to start to take flight again to get up off the deck of the ship, and you just like, nope, pull, and it just slams into the deck of the ship. It does take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as it hits the deck. See. Yeah, so you now have a harpy lassoed, tied around its neck. Can you do anything else on your turn or not? I'll treat that as a definite action.
Action surge. And I'm going to then take my longsword and just stab downward onto the harpy.
Okay, so you've got her about
Yeah.
15 feet from you now. So you can easily make that with your movement speed and go ahead and make an attack with your longsword. Are you doing this two-handed?
No, I'm assuming one of my.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you're holding onto the rope. Of course. Yeah, so one-handed only.
Okay. Does that get anything because it's on prone or anything, or is it?
It is on the ground prone, so you will get advantage if you are within melee. So yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you said that because my first roll was a 2. But my second roll would be a 17 to hit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so then that's
Absolutely.
1d8. It's 5. So that would be a 7 plus 5 slashing, so that would be 12 damage total.
Oh damage, Jesus. As you approach this thing, it's just like scrabbling. Its claws are going into the deck of the ship and trying to scrape itself away from you, screaming. The wings are flapping. You don't aim for the body itself. What you want to do is take away its advantage. So you aim very, very, very closely, and then just come down, take one of the wings away as it just hits onto deck. So now it's only got one. And it's just trying to flap, and it's almost going in a circle. But as it's rotating, that noose is getting tighter and tighter and tighter around its neck. So you've greatly reduced its movement speed by doing that. Right, is that the end of your turn?
That would be then the end of my turn.
Right, Bird, you're up.
I thought I was next.
Football.
Sorry, you are.
Okay. Because I thought, not that I don't
like-
mind Shelby going for next, but
It's raining outside.
okay. I'm just wondering how many there are because I want to know how worried Opal is. Like, how many does she see?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
You know that one's gone off the side of the ship because you heard a big splash.
Okay. And I see. I see the one that's flopping on the deck?
See the one that's flopping on the deck, yeah.
That's a 9 for perception.
You don't see any more. You've got a feeling that maybe because there's still some screeches about. So, but you don't know how many are up there.
Okay, I'm gonna. I'm going to use Sorcerer's Burst.
Okay.
It was just cantrip.
Mhm.
And go for the one on the deck with cold damage.
Okay. As you're doing this from distance and the harpy is prone, it'll unfortunately be at disadvantage
Disadvantage.
if you want to attack from distance.
Well, I rolled a 17 plus 5. So that's 1, 2, 3.
Sorry.
22?
22, yeah.
22.
So
22.
did you roll 2 d20s?
I did. I rolled a 19 on the other one.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yes.
Let's
it-
go.
22 at disadvantage. All right. So,
As you do.
what are you
Opal's
firing
so
at this
cool.
poor creature?
Cold damage. 1d8 cold damage.
Go for it.
Because
Is
I
it
get to
just-
choose what
is it
kind of
just-
damage.
Yeah. Is it just 1d8?
Yeah. So 5.
5 damage. Oh. This thing's not having a good day at all. So
Wrong
you,
ship.
you put your hands forward and ice crystals start to coalesce on the end of your fingers and then fire out like daggers towards this thing. It peppers it in its chest and in its neck and in its face and in its head. An ear falls off and it just crumples to the deck and it's just now it can barely raise its head and barely get its claw to the ground to start to try to pull itself away.
Torturing this thing.
It's a mess. The wing is now just not working anymore. It's just flat on the deck of the ship. Right, are you doing anything else with your turn?
No, I'm going to stay where I am.
Wise. Very wise. Right, sorry, Bird. It's now your turn. Are you venturing up on deck? You did quite well to just be firing all this from the hatch.
Yeah, she's gonna venture up onto the deck, and she wants to see if there's like a group of them getting ready to dive bomb or something.
Make a perception check.
I was like, she doesn't know how many there are. Perception.
Mm-hmm.
8.
You can see one on deck. You know one's gone over the side. You can still hear noise above you. Again, same as Opal. You don't know how many. With the rain that's coming down, the noise is distorted. So as you hear a screech over here, automatically it's over here seconds later. So you don't know how many.
Okay. Okay. So in that case, instead, just focusing on the ship, I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire.
Nice. That's a 20-foot.
So
is it?
20-foot cube.
20-foot cube.
So I'm just centering.
Are you centering on the downed harpy or
on the? No, I'm centering on the deck. So that way, when they like dive bomb,
when it comes through, they get hit. Yeah.
Right.
Nice. So
I'm in my brain. I understand that is if they enter, they have to make a deck save, and otherwise we get advantage against it.
that is very true.
Cool.
Very true. So between you, where the hatch is, and the main mast, where the downed harpy is, it's about 30 feet. That distance. So if you plop it right in the middle between you and there will be a 20-foot like danger area.
Yeah.
For them to come and swing by. Right. Okay. So now you can all see that there is now almost it doesn't appear as glitter because when Bird casts it's normally very much nature-bound magic. So it has the appearance of tiny falling autumn leaves, just constantly just dripping down. So you have this cube now of Danger Will Robinson. Right, are you doing anything else with your turn?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. No?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Right, it's their go now. So, on the start of their turn, the one that was knocked off the side of the ship has now made its way back and crawled back up, and now it sits on the railing of the starboard side of the ship, and it starts to sing.
Oh no.
One of the most beautiful songs you've ever heard in your entire lives. I need everyone within 300 feet of this thing
Ooh.
to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Two.
21.
21, okay.
12.
12.
10.
Yeah.
10.
Also a 12.
Also a 12. Right. So, Eloin, Opal. Oh, shit, I need to roll for Tad too. Oh, you lucky swine. Right, so Eloin, Opal, Isha, and Tad barely. Eloin was a massive success. The rest of you barely succeeded on the check. Unfortunately, Bird. Sorry, what did you roll?
A 10.
A 10. You are now charmed.
Great.
By the harpy. So, while charmed by the harpy, a target is incapacitated and ignores the songs of any other harpies. If the charmed target is more than 5 feet away from the harpy, the target must move on its turn towards the harpy in the most direct route. So
what does that do to my concentration?
Are you concentrating on fairy fire?
Yeah.
I will say. Hang on.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay,
That I don't know.
Well, If damage, the charm target can also repeat a saving throw. Right, so you can do a saving throw at the end of your turn. See if you can save from the charm effect.
Sure.
It won't affect your concentration spell because this is something that happened. You're not taking damage.
Okay.
This is just an effect that's happened to you while you're concentrating. So Fairy Fire is still up.
Perfect. Okay.
So yeah. So when he gets back to your turn, you can make a save against a charm. But at the minute, on your turn, you just have to move your full movement speed towards that luring harpy. That's all, and that's all you can do. Right. So that's one of them. He's going to start singing. The other one that is downed. It's going to just claw at your foot, Isha, because you're right next to it, and you've pissed it off. So,
Sure.
Right, this is a claw attack. Does an 18 hit you?
It does.
Does. Right. D4. Why do they make D4 so difficult to pick up? Oh, no, not bad. 6 points of slashing damage. The claw sticks into your foot and almost pins your foot down into the deck of the ship. So I'd actually consider you to be restrained right now by this thing.
Okay.
It's holding your foot down into the deck of the ship. It doesn't have another attack because it doesn't have the energy to do so. So that's the end of that one. And then one is going to come and dive bomb down, and it's going to dive bomb at the hatch. Try and almost smash it out the way. Which I'll say with a 15, it does hit the hatch, and it.
Can I use my heroic inspiration that Bird gave me to make them re-roll that?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I'm gonna do that.
I'm gonna do that. Okay.
Move that post-it note.
Natural 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine, Rob. It's fine.
God.
Everything's
It was a
fine.
good idea, though.
Everything's fine.
LOL.
Yeah.
Right.
I kind of think that I made it worse. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
double fives on the D6 dice as well, so that's 20 points of damage to the door. Right, the
He needs
door.
to stop roll.
The door shatters. So the hatch is no longer covered. You are now open to the elements. The things are coming down. They're not necessarily hitting you. The rain's sort of like the rain. The hail is dissipated slightly, but it's still coming down in like stair rods. So it's unpleasant at best. Right, that's the end of the harpy's turn.
Does that one need to do a dex save on the fairy fire? So we can see it.
Yes, so it came in. It did come in. What's the DC on it?
13.
13.
Dex save.
Roll a natural 19 on the dice.
All right.
That one's a problem.
This dice I like. I will be keeping this dice. Right, so that's the end of the harpy's turn. So back to the top of the round. It is Tad Danger. Right. Got a weapon. I'm just going to do a short bow attack. I'm going to run up and try and... Actually, no. He will run up and try and hide. Okay, roll for them. Okay. So he's going to...
And hi.
That was the funniest thing. I've watched that about 20 times back. I'm just gonna... Brilliant. Right, so we're going to do a short bow attack from hiding, so he gets advantage. Rogue doing rogue shit. That is a 18. Yeah, definitely hits. So that is 4 plus 5. On a 4. Good lad. Good man.
side are you on?
Right, so he has that. Plus sneak attack because he was hidden. So sneak attack is just 1d6. That's a 3. Oh god. Right, she's got to make a concentration check on the song, and she fails with a 2. Right, so the song is down. The harpy is messed up, but just barely clinging onto the railing now. Just had an arrow shot straight through her neck, so she can't sing anymore. Right, that's the end of Tad's turn. He's going to leave it there, so it is Elwyn.
The one that came and dive bombed the hatch. I would like to cast Starry Wisp at it.
Okay. What's the
Which-
the range on that spell?
60 feet.
Yeah, it's within 60 feet, so you'll be able to hit if you hit.
It's 23 to hit.
All right, yeah, fine. Be like that.
So, I'm gonna...
23.
so I'm only gonna do 2 radiant damage, but now the creature emits dim light for a 10-foot radius.
Nice.
Nice.
So if she goes back up and away, then we can see her a little bit.
Okay. You say
And then
you
I'm
say you
going
don't do
to-
damage.
Do what?
You say you don't do damage on that.
2 points.
2 points of damage, right?
And then I'm gonna give Bardic Inspiration to Isha out there in his rodeo. Wrangling the harpies.
Get off your horse and drink your milk, partner.
And that's my turn.
Cook these birds. Right. It's the end of your turn.
Burp.
The barbs.
Aesir.
Okay. Are we back to?
You've got an extra D6 if you want to use it. Inspiration.
Okay.
So you are next to the very messed up down one-winged harpy who is trying to crawl desperately away and tightening the noose of the neck ever much more.
Okay, I'm just gonna try and finish it off with my longsword. But which would be a 16 to hit.
Definitely hit.
Okay. 1d8. That would be 8 damage.
How do you want to do this?
Okay, so I think what Isha's going to do, he's getting battered by the hail. So he's kind of already fed up with this whole situation. He's gonna step over the harpy and just lift up with the rope. And then with his other arm, he's just gonna finish off the harpy with the sword and cut its neck.
Nice.
Nice.
And
I don't need to put any more flavor on that. That's just as good as.
and then he's gonna take the rope and take it off the harpy so he can use it against the other harpies. And then that's where I'm gonna end my turn.
Okay. So the knife goes across. Do you just like cut, or is the head off?
Just cut it. Just finish it off. It's
Just
already
cut.
struggling enough. I'm not gonna be cruel about it.
No,
Just cut off its wing.
just chop one.
That's
Just
what
chop
I
one of its wings off. That's all. That would be cruel. My God. So I'd say because it's you and you're a very gentlemanly fighter, you quickly end its suffering, lay it down gently, and then take off the rope and throw it over your shoulders for your next attack on. Your next gentlemanly attack on these creatures. Right, that's ending your turn, Opal.
Okay, I'm gonna go after the one that came after the hatch.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
That one is currently circling around to try and find out where it's at. So it's within 60 feet of you.
Well, I got 120 range on this.
Ooh.
So,
Fireball. Bolt.
nope, chaos
Opal's
bolt.
a sniper.
Chaos bolt.
Chaos bolt.
Let's go.
I love that spell. Just those 2
24 to
words
hit.
together.
24 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm living for Opal today.
8.
Does an 87 hit?
I want Opal to make a sniper rifle because she's just hitting people
Oh,
from range.
yeah, me too. That fires all sorts of shit. Lightning, acid. I would let that happen. Guns exist in this
Let's see.
as well.
Tad's got one.
Yeah, Tad stole one.
Okay, 15.
So is Hylia.
It'll hit for 15, 17 damage.
17 damage. Where's my guys?
Oh,
Where's my
you're
guys? Oh,
And it's
How many?
poison damage.
poison.
Yeah.
Habada.
Cusco's poison?
The
Poison for Cusco? Bad poison?
the effect that you put on it, Eloin, what else does that do? You took 2 points of
It-
damage.
Light up.
Yeah, they
it's
emit
dim light, isn't it? Yeah.
dim light for 10-foot radius, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, what damage did you do again?
Poison.
Poison damage. Okay. This right. So it comes round on an arc and it sees you and it comes directly towards you as you fire this thing off, and just this icky like dark green shit just flies forward from something within your like wrist or sleeve. Like the slime guns from Ghostbusters 2, just and it just hits full in the face, and it comes and slams onto the deck right next to you, and sort of slides across the deck right to your feet, and then sort of rolls onto its back and looks up at you and can hardly move. It's still conscious, but it's very, very hurt. Can you do anything else with your turn?
Can I kick it?
Yes,
Kick
you
it away.
can.
Don't want it there.
Can I kick it? I'm gonna say.
I don't want it at my
You know
feet.
what? I'm gonna say yes. I will give you a bonus action. Or do you want Rocky to attack?
Oh yeah, we can have Rocket. We can have Rocky attack. Yeah.
Rocky
I
kicks
keep
it.
forgetting about Rocky.
I want Rocky
Except when he's cute.
I want Rocky to kick it in the head.
Yeah, let me find Rocky's stats.
I think does it get an attack on your turn?
Yeah, he does.
There we go.
Yeah, right after me.
Thanks for the sub, Kate.
Oh,
13 months, legend.
Force strike.
Healer.
They're healer.
So,
Healer.
Healer.
where's the?
Well, that's the deal.
I'm so late.
Rob said, I don't know what's up.
I wonder if any harpies are named Dylan.
Okay.
He's packing his flat up, Cade.
17 to hit.
Yes, absolutely hits.
Okay, and then 28.
I'm so rooting for Rocky now. Excuse.
We need Rocky the
You-
Squirrel to do a Rocky
Plus
picture.
4
fan
damage
art.
4 damage.
4 damage. with a force strike.
Is that it?
It had 5 hit points.
Oh,
Oh no!
Bruh.
The Rocky like extends its wings, hops down and just sort of like struts across the deck of the ship towards it and does kick it in the head. And it almost kicks the head off the body, but it just doesn't. Like a bit of it's still sort of hanging on, but it's still going.
Oh.
Looking at
Ugh.
looking at the bird. The bird's like Rocky's furious now. He thought he was going to get his first kill. Right, yeah, he's got 1 hit point. I can't believe he didn't do it. I'm so annoyed. That's the end of your turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ah!
Yep.
Bird, you're up.
Okay, so she was very offended that that other harpy tried to lure her with music.
Yes.
And I want, and she's in a mood. So she is going to drop concentration on the fairy fire and drop the fairy fire.
Leaves
And
just.
she wants to cast Mind Spike at that
Okay.
Nice.
So it says you drive a spike of psychonic energy into the mind of one creature you can see within range. The target makes a wisdom saving throw, and then will take damage on a failed or half.
What's the DC on it?
13.
Mind Spike.
Mind Spike.
Rolled a 3.
Cool. I'm gonna take 3d8 psychic damage.
Jesus Christ.
Respectively, these harpies have 2, 3, and 1 hit point. This may be classed as slight overkill, but I love it.
14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the one that was on the clinging to the railing that was singing at you,
Yes.
wasn't it? Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No.
Yeah, it had 2 hit points. So
Get off.
you fire this like Professor X. You put your fingers onto your temples, and this like
I don't fucking think so.
this like green light just shoots out of your eyes, straight into its eyes. It just grabs its head and screams so loud that its head explodes, and the body just falls off the ship into the water, never to be seen again. Probably eaten by the fishes
Next
already.
sailors off their ship first thing in the morning. What is wrong with you?
How dare you?
Dare you?
Yeah, that mess. Yeah, done.
Had breakfast?
Can you do anything else?
No. I don't think so.
And the world, maybe. Where did you get that spell from? Awesome.
Does
Um,
Bonnie get an attack?
Oh yeah, does Bonnie
That's a
get?
warlock one I took.
Does Bonnie get an attack?
I just want Bonnie to be invisible. I don't want her getting involved in anything.
All right.
She's precious.
Does she have? does she have the
Fair.
ability to turn invisible?
She does.
Okay.
I looked.
I don't know. I believe. So, as you explode this harpy's head, Bonnie just sort of looks and just goes, "Nope," and just ekes out of existence, so you can't see her.
Yeah.
Right, that's the end of your turn. Going to it's the harpy's turn. Right, you're done.
Singular.
No, there's 2 left. There's one's got 3 hit points and one's got 1 hit point. The one that's got 1 hit point is
He's on it.
is the one that Opal shot out of the sky. So as it's directly next to you, Opal, it's just going to take a last ditch claw at you, just to try and do some damage. That will be 16 to hit you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that hits. Yeah, that hits.
Okay, that's 2d4. 1. And a 2 plus 1, so 4 slashing damage. So
Okay.
last ditch just effort, just rakes across your legs. And then just arm hits the ground, no energy left. Just barely hanging on. The other one again, Isha. Oh no, you ended that one, didn't you?
Yeah.
You took its head off. Yes, you did. Right, so yeah, so it's just a one. That's the end of their turn. It's back to the top. It's Tad. He's going to get a kill, and he's not here. Depending on how he rolls, of course.
He rolls so poorly.
He's going to throw a dagger because his daggers are cool.
Oh, he's gonna be cool about it.
Dagger.
Roll a natural 17 plus 7 to hit. Yeah, 24.
A little bit.
He's so cool. Cool is his middle name.
Dane's is his last name. +5, 7. Yeah, 7 points. So, Jacob, if you were here, you would have got a how do you want to do this? And because you're not here, I'm going to tell you how you did it. This is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, fire arrow, slow motion. Gets the dagger out of his sheath, throws it up, catches it in slow motion by the blade, and just as the huge balls of ice just falling. This dagger spinning through them, chopping them in half as it goes, and then reaches the hub. Oh, actually.
Oh.
Oh no, it's not. Fine. Oh no, it is. It's a disadvantage because it's prone on the ground. Oh, I might ruin this film. 19. No.
It's fine.
Back to where I was.
Strike that, reverse it.
Chopping ice in half as it flies through the air and lands squarely in the middle of the forehead. And Tad's not even looking. Tad's already turned round. As the knife goes in and the life leaves its eyes and it flops on the back of the ship, the dagger disappears and it reappears
So
back
good.
on his belt, as if it
So
never
cool.
left. Right. So apart from the rain, threat is over. There are several crew down on the deck of the ship, unconscious, just been knocked out by the weather initially when it started to come down in like cannonball-size hail. But other crew members are now running to their aid and picking them up. Hylia and Virgil are just making their way onto the deck of the ship, having been incredibly hungover from the night before, wondering what the hell is going on, and now scrabbling for dear life, trying to help on board. The rain just starts to subside after about another 30 minutes, and normalcy resumes.
Popo's trying to mend the ship with mending where she can.
Okay.
Yeah, if anyone looks super severely bad, I'm gonna do cure wounds.
There is a guy about 20 feet from you who looks messed up.
Okay, I'm gonna give him some hit points.
Sorry, 2 seconds. I need an assistant here, just text. Or just another pair of arms would be great. Right. So, crew members rescued. Do you do anything with the harpies themselves? They are currently, well, 2 of them are laid at your feet. Mangled corpses that they are.
Or do you want any more parts to like mash up like you did with the? I don't know how it works.
that look at all
No,
those
I'm not a
faces.
collector.
Well, you were. I don't know. I don't know how your magic works. Maybe you need different things and not just bones.
I needed one bone once. It's fine. No, thank you. Thank you. No.
Thank you, but no.
I think we
So-
pushed him off into the ocean.
Yeah.
Slide them off and
That was great.
as they go.
That was great.
Right. So, what did anyone
That was
like
the
to...
first day?
That was day
That
one.
was day one.
Cool.
Nose goes
He
to the
should
second day.
Jordan's fault. He rolled a d20.
Shelby!
Oh, man.
Your
So,
turn.
if nobody wants to do anything else on this day, then you all go to sleep. You all take a long rest. You're back up to full hit points
Cool, I
again,
get
full
my slots back.
spells. You get your
Yep,
slots back.
spell slots back.
And
Get my HP back.
Yep.
You should get his HP back.
Mm-hmm.
you get hit points. You get hit points.
Okay, I'm rolling.
Everybody gets hit points.
10.
10.
10. I yelled.
2 hydras.
Sorry.
Okay, roll a. No, I'm kidding. You're fine. You managed to actually have a very calm sea. The weather's very clement, slightly overcast, but it's calm for the entire day sailing. As you reach the end of the day, and the sun just start to come in and set. When I find my notes, because they're just falling all over the floor.
Gravity.
The worst.
Bitch.
Thou art a heartless bitch. Is that what Sheldon said once on Big Bang Theory? Gravity, thou art a heartless bitch. Right. Here we go. Yeah, so the sun starts to dip in the sky. The blues give way to some darker oranges and reds. And in front of you, hovering into view, start to see a rather large town appearing on the ever closer. You can see buildings decorated with sashes and streamers of various bright colours. Torchlights and braziers are ablaze. You see dancing in the streets. You see market vendors by the docksides plying the trade. Music fills the air from several locations. Fiddles and flutes, drums and lutes. Laughter rides the wind. The whole town is alive with celebration as you approach the dock, and the smell of fresh baked goods, roasted fish, wine and herbs fill your nostrils. Welcome to Oars Dance. As the ship pulls into dock.
We did
it! We won D&D.
Campaign over. We did it. We made it.
As the ship pulls into dockside and Mr. Bones takes over with the expert parking, gives you a bit of a handbrake turn. He pulls into the side. Ship settles, and a couple of the crew members throw the ropes over the side, jump over, and start to lash the ship to the dockside itself. Right, you can see ahead of you exactly what I just described. It's a huge fishing port. And it's home to something called the Fire Rain Festival. What you can now see in front of you, all the banners and torchlights and everyone dancing and singing. Anyone who wants to, just roll a intelligence or history check, whatever you wish.
Nothing to see here.
19.
9.
You joining in, Anisha?
No, I'm not gonna roll.
You're not gonna roll.
Get a +5 on history. I rolled a 4.
Ooh.
Oh. There. Right, one more tech thing I've got to sort before I carry on. I'm sorry.
You're doing amazing, man.
Hang on a second. Seriously, just one more pair of arms. Not what I want. That's what I want. Right, you can hear some music coming with the thing now. There you go. Right, so 19 and what are the highest? Just 19.
I rolled a 9.
Right, you've read books on the majority of the world of Thoria in your training. because you were expected to learn about history as well, in other places except the Acalian archipelago. The reason why this is called the Fire Rain Festival is because when the fracture happened, the planet broke apart. Obviously, quite a lot of debris shot into the sky, but the debris was small enough to be able to be caught by the planet's orbit, gravity. But once a year, this debris makes it so close to the firmament above that it starts to fall as tiny, tiny meteors in the sky. So it looks like the sky is on fire.
That's cool.
So they call it the Fire Rain Festival. Specifically in Oars Dance, the way that they celebrate this is they have very skilled boatmen who perform a dance on rowboats on the water in front of the dock sides during a firework display that goes off while these meteors are coming into the atmosphere, creating this incredible look in the sky. Also, there are games, there's a fishing competition, and just raucous frivolity. Something nice for a change. A stunning boat dance accompanies a celestial display as does food, music, games, and revel. So, as the ship is moored, and I'm guessing you're attempting to disembark ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hylia comes over, and sort of gets quite close to you all, and she says, "Well, this is where I leave you. I got you to your location. Still alive, God. I've had a great deal of pleasure getting to know you all, and I hope I would see you. And if you want to reach out, you can use this." And she reaches into a pouch behind, pulls out a stone, and she says, "Who would like it?"
Take it. Give it to Opal. She's got pockets.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my gosh! I'll give it 2 pockets.
I give her a hug. I'm gonna make it awkward.
So she feels like around her leg.
Yes.
Gnome attached to her. She reciprocates, hugs back. As you release, and she kneels down to the lower members in the group. Says, "If you ever need me, contact me via this stone, and I will hear you, and I'll be able to reply back. Please be safe.
Thank you.
Please don't die. And please, you can find Creel."
Thank you for Captain.
You're very welcome. It's
I
been
give her a little curtsy.
Safe travels.
it's been an interesting few days. She bows back, and then sweeps her coat behind her, makes her way back onto the ship. Virgil comes over and he kneels down to Tad specifically, because they've had a couple of interactions on board ship during this journey on the depth charge, and he draws his attention back over to the... Oh, Jordan's collapsed.
I've collapsed.
He's okay.
I'm good.
He draws Tad's attention over to the sword that you can now see a little brighter as the night's starting to draw in a little bit. Huge spire of projected green and yellow energy firing from the top into the sky starts to dissipate and spread. And he says to Tad, seeing that reminds you that there's an enormous power in the world being used for good. Nice to know. Taps him on his shoulder. Is he in you? Gets up and goes back. So, you're now in Ozdans. Disembark the ship and you find yourself on the dockside. What are you doing?
We're going to the... Here's my notes. We're going to that inn to look for that guy.
The specificity is what I admire most.
That inn.
We're going to the...
Come on, Nelta Republic, I know you got it.
We're going to the Crooked Tower Inn. And we're gonna ask the guy there for...
The owner.
Yeah.
You know what he's called?
I do. No. The owner.
He's called the owner.
Yeah. That's it. That's all that was in our letters. Tell the owner of the Crooked Tower Inn you're asking for me.
Go. Right. So, you now have a sending stone. So it's 25 words or less once per long rest. You can send a message out for this one, and you will get a reply back if it goes through. Right, so as you stand on deck, you see a... Where is he? There he is. You see a half-elven gentleman with quite nicely coiffed black hair pulled into a ponytail. He's young in years. It looks a bit stuffy, though. He's very collared and tied up. He carries a large ledger in him, who has a tailed coat. And he comes over to you and says, welcome to Ozdans. My name's Tobias Grimm, and I'm the harbour master here. How can I be of service?
We are looking for the Crooked Tower Inn.
Oh, the Crooked Tower is a wonderful place, well, absolutely. If you are to go down the main dockside, into the town itself, and then if you take a left, and then you take a right, you'll find it just down there. Anything else I can do for you? Oh, by the way, to moor your boat, it'll be 3 gold. And then
It's not our boat.
You hear a shout from behind you. Hailey says, "It's not their boat." And he looks.
It's not a boat.
He just looks up at her and goes, "Sorry." Closes his ledger, tucks it back under his arm, and he starts to walk off. Right, I need to pull the map up for this town now. I can't believe I'm actually here. I wrote this town 4 years ago.
Oh my god.
And now I'm actually here.
We get to level up.
Oh.
We made it.
We made it.
Everyone named it.
Longest boat ride ever.
Could have been longer.
Almost like real-time medieval travel, taking 3 months to get somewhere.
Yeah. Oh.
Don't do that.
There it is. There it is.
Sorry.
There it is.
It's also really hot
I
in
hear
my
you,
house.
girl.
Right? It's so hot in my house, so I'm making me more sleepy.
It's warm here now too. I don't know how, 'cause it's nearly midnight. Sorry guys, I'm having trouble finding this map. Bear with.
I mean, it's buried in 4 years of notes, so it's somewhere.
You coming up? You gonna do this? Go ahead, come on, Kai.
Kai.
There you go.
Hi, Kai.
There she is.
Oh,
Yeah, she's got a donut right now because she's
Hi, Kai.
she keeps chewing on her butt. She's got allergies.
Yeah.
There we go.
Don't
She's
do
got
that.
There we
allergies,
go.
so she's chewing on her butt all day. Pretty sure she's allergic to grass
Aw.
because it's all like where she squats to pee.
Yeah. Poor puppy.
I know.
Number one, there you go. Right, okay. So, what you see before you, the dockside is in like a semicircle shape. It's huge, but on there is literally just one building where this Tobias Grimm, who you just met, that's his office basically. There are at least 15 ships moored at this dockside, and they are as large, if not larger, than the depth charge. They've all got their own private docks. It's a big old place. Ahead of you, there's quite a wide, long thoroughfare, and it goes between two rather tall buildings, which look like market traders are in there plying their own trades. If you continue a little bit more forward, you come to a crossroads, and ahead of you looks like a very, very important-looking building, rather plush. The rest of the buildings are lovely and clean, but this looks like a little bit extra special. There are guards on some like brass polished gates at the front, which the gates stand at least 15 feet high. They're huge. And beyond that, you just see this like rather palatial mansion house. As you approach this, the gates swing open, and flanked by two guards, you see a human man in his late 50s. He's got blonde hair that's turning grey at the sides. Again, very smartly dressed, but a bit more casual looking than Tobias, you just met at the dockside. He's suited and booted, looking rather posh. He's got a little medallion with a gold pendant around his neck, and he walks over to you rather welcomingly and says, welcome to Orsdans. My name is Bryn Collier, and I'll be your mayor. Would I be able to be of service to you at all at any point this evening?
We're just looking for the Crooked Tower Inn.
The Crooked Tower, oh, Bulgus's place. Yes. I spent many an evening there. He does wonderful ales. I'm not sure if you've tried it. Is this your first time here?
It is.
Fantastic. Right, well, you know what? I quite fancy a drink myself, so why don't I take you down there myself? Follow me. And he just prances off on a right direction. As you continue down, you can see some more buildings on the sides. Most of them are starting to close up now because the trading day has finished, but there are market stalls beginning to open as you walk past more buildings.
Oh my!
What was that?
My dog.
Oh,
was
right.
just saying hi.
That's all right. So while you're walking with this rather excited gentleman, is there anything you want to ask him, or because he's just taking you there? He's the mayor of Orsdans, but as he rather rambunctiously said,
Is he really?
he certainly is.
I would like to do an insight check on this mofo.
What would you like to? What insight are you trying to find?
Why is the mayor of the city giving a private escort to a random group of people that just got off a boat?
Fair question. Roll an insight check.
Yeah, I don't like it.
18.
Alright, I'm gonna have to text you. Because I can't do whispers because we're not in the same room.
Everybody pay really close attention
To his fingers.
to the reaction.
What buttons is he pressing? Right.
He's typing. I'm not sure about this guy.
And send.
I don't like the accent you've chosen for him either.
Uh-oh.
This is a very poor attempt at me trying to find someone who sounds a bit like James Spader.
It's working.
It's making
Just
it
because I love the
comfortable.
way James Spader talks, so I just wanted
Yeah.
to do a character that sounds like James Spader. I can't do the deep bit of Red Reddington, but I can sort of do the pursed lips talking that he does. So I'm just going to continue to enjoy myself.
Oh, keep doing it.
No, it's a great accent.
It's working.
Have you got it?
Yeah. I need a clarification.
Go on.
Is it a nervous? Is it a I have something to hide nervous, or I want you to succeed nervous?
The latter.
Okay.
With an 18, what you I can tell publicly rather than privately is that he seems to be overly putting on excitement in order to maybe hide something else. He's being overly welcoming, overly rambunctious in his welcome to you guys, because that's coming from a place of nervousness.
Yeah. I'm just gonna kind of engage him in like send a reassuring look to the rest of the group, like not necessarily we can totally trust this guy, but I think we can go with this for the moment. And just try to get him talking about the festival and, you know, what are your favorite things to do and what would you recommend that we see while we're here? And
Oh, absolutely.
You know.
Well, there's the fishing competition, which is centuries old.
That's
There's
lovely.
there's a large fish that lives in the sea that has earned notoriety because it's never been caught. No one's ever caught this fish. So
Wow.
we have this competition every single year to see if finally someone can best this beast, but no one seems to have done it yet. You're
Is
welcome.
there some kind of amazing prize that someone would get because it's been so long?
Oh, many gold.
Oh,
The purse has
didn't
been
know
going
she
since the competition started, and that was at least 150 years ago. So the purse has gotten quite
Wow.
large by now. I mean, it's
What?
it's publicly funded, so it's not that much,
course.
but you know, it's
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 so
nothing to
nice
be
to be
sniffed
somewhere
at.
with that kind of history and culture. That's wonderful.
Oh, Orange Dance is a wonderful place that you really need to stay and just absorb the wonder that is this village.
I hear it now.
Yeah, I hear it too.
Keep going.
That's great. How
Yeah,
long
you're
have you
doing
been in the mirror?
amazing.
And I just want to like go into full diplomat, like I'm, you know, being hosted by another ranking
Yeah.
person, you
Yeah,
know, kind of mode,
yeah, absolutely.
and chat with him the whole way.
So to save me
Give him
from-
an outlet for that energy a
to
little
save me
bit.
from doing Jay Spaded like all night, which I don't think I have the energy for. For the sake of brevity, yeah, you distractly question him on the way towards the Crooked Tower, as you
Put my training to good use.
absolutely as you round the next bend, again to the right, just slightly to the right, you can now see the building in question itself, which strangely enough is shaped like a crooked tower. It's a very tall grey stone building with a slate roof that has it's been Leaning Tower of Pisa to one side, so the roof is slightly hanging off on one side. The rest of the building is standing straight, but the tower that's in front of it is just leading to the left. But it's absolutely bustling. There's so many people outside already, and you can see there's probably a lot of people inside because you can hardly see things but people moving about. Bryn sort of stops about maybe 10-15 feet from the entrance. Says, well, because I'm the mayor, I have slightly special privileges, so I think we're better if we go round the back. And
Great idea.
He leads you round the back side of the building, and there's like a private entrance there that he pulls a small silver key out and opens the door, and he says, inside, quite fervently.
Are
Ushers you through
Are the
door.
two guards with him still too, or just him?
No, he sort of held them at bay, so they're gonna guard the door from the outside as you go inside.
Okay.
So as you
He's with us inside.
No, the guards are staying. He's with you inside, yes, but the guards are staying out there
Okay,
to guard the back door. Now you've been ushered to the side.
Okay.
As you come into this space now, this is very much the back portion of a pub of an inn. This is like the storage area spaces. There are many shelves ahead of you with lots and lots of different shaped green, brown, and white glass bottles full of liquids. There's cured meats hanging from shelves. There are eggs all over the place. You know, this is a storeroom. Manic smells are coming at you. Just the best cured meat you've ever smelled, like salamis and things. Herbs and spices are coming through as well. So Bryn closes the door and locks it with the key, puts the key back in his pocket, and all of a sudden you just see his demeanor just completely change. The frivolity's gone. The welcome giddiness has just dissipated completely, and what you see now is a man who has a relative panic on his face. Oddly, with this quite lovely music in the background. So he looks at you and now with different eyes and says, we were given prior warning of your arrival. Captain Hylia has been perfect in her communications that she sent through to us. We know you were coming. Thank God you're here. We're in dire straits. There's something going on here that we're just not in control of. Follow me. And he leads you through the storeroom entrance, and it's slightly into the bar itself, but sort of like a snug, like a private room off the end of the bar. And behind the bar, you see this very tall, half-orc gentleman, green skin, brown hair, incredibly well built, standing at least 6.5 feet tall. He's just got a loose white shirt on with some brown slacks, big heavy boots, and a leather apron pulled over the rest of it. And he immediately looks over and waves at Bryn. Bryn sort of waves a little bit frantically and just sort of beckons him over with a hand. And this huge orc steps forward and goes, so how... Bryn, what's going on? Bryn says, they're here. This is them. Can we take them to the room where... And he looks around. The barman looks around and says, Colwyn! Just, small gnome guy comes over. Says, yes, sir? Just mind the bar for a few seconds. We're going to go downstairs. Yes, sir. He runs off. And you're now accompanied by a 6'6" tall half-orc as they lead you through another small corridor. And then there's a hatch in the ground, which Bryn just goes for and opens and ahead of you is just a set of stairs. He's sort of beckoning you down. You follow?
Did he go first?
I can do.
I'll smile, but wait for him to go first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow.
He recognizes the awkwardness and the pause and go, "Oh, by all means, I'll go first." And he goes downstairs.
Like, I don't want to come off as like, I don't trust you, but I'm not an idiot. Like that kind of vibe. Like,
completely understand, not a problem.
Yeah.
And he walks down. He walks down the stairs. As you follow him down, the music now starts to fade in the background, and you can, as he gets to the bottom of the stairs, another door is unlatched and opened up, and inside is a small, dimly lit room. Just whack this music down a little. Really don't. Technology. Right, so ahead of you is a very small, dimly lit room. On one side, there is like a sink situation, small cupboard. Then on the other side of the room, there is a slightly larger than single bed. And on the bed itself, you can see slumped over, facing away from you, long white hair. And if, well, Halloween's ridiculous exception, you can also see very long, very pointed purple ears. And the sheets are pulled over. Bryn, already in. Bulgus, the the half-orc landlord, owner of the establishment room, closes the door behind you. Lock it. Just sort of stands a vigil by the door. Bryn now turns to you again, very much more serious guys. Says, well, there he is. I don't want to wake him. Been through a lot. Trying to get his strength back. The reason he called you is there's something wrong with the town. And there's something else that only he can tell you. What I can tell you, that for several months now, there have been disappearances, outlying farms, some from town itself, attacks on the citizens, showing odd wounds, strange causes of death. Some of us believe that creatures, thugs, are being sent here to destroy this city for something. Once the waters around First Downs were always considered to be safe, but now there have been rumors of creatures coming on land at night. Children are going missing. The reason why I'm so fervently for keeping the festival on is that I'm the mayor. I've got to try and keep civil temperament high, but there's been too much unrest recently. My ability to keep the city safe has been brought into question. Some believe that it's the fault of the Coral Guard, who are here, being undertrained or underfunded. Some believe that it's purely my fault for lack of leadership, and others are convinced there are supernatural powers to bring the city to it. Why anyone would be against or against, I don't know. Many people are mentioning something called the Blind. The primary source of danger that's coming into this town. Now, opinions are broken. Some have trouble believing anything has happened at all, and will not admit that anything has gone wrong, and will continue to live their lives in absolute ignorance is bliss. Some believe that monsters don't even exist, but some of us do. Some of us have seen some. We have so many skeptics here. But the person you really need to talk to is, unfortunately, trying to regain his strength. So, for the meantime, I'd ask you to let him rest, at least until the morning. If you want to ask any questions, there's a doctor in town who is quite knowledgeable about strange occurrences of the arcane. Called Dr. Friedrich Creekmore. His office is down the street. Anyway, I'll leave you with Balgus. I have to go and attend to other things for the festival, and he grabs Isha's hand quite tightly and says, "Thank you for coming." And he makes his exit. Opens the door and makes as Balgus stands there, just carefully guarding.
That was unexpected.
Well, we knew something was happening.
So is there anyone still in the room other than Creel who's sleeping?
Really sleeping, and Balgus, the landlord of the inn, it's the half-orc gentleman standing at the door with you.
Is it safe for, I'm going to ask him, is it safe for us to be asking about stuff out in the open, or should we be more secretive about it?
I'd say if you want to stay alive in this town, you keep your voices down.
Understood.
The reason why Creel is underground, because it's the only way I can keep him safe. And he pulls...
Do you have any... Oh, sorry. Go on.
Sorry. He pulls a letter out of his back pocket. Identical. Yells at you and says, "This is how we knew you were coming. Talia recognized the letter on board ship. Got a message to us, then you're on the way." Creel sent letters all over Thoria. He didn't know who was going to show up first. I hope you'd have the last, but he needs your help.
To the side, like, I knew she was good. Knew it.
If you want, I know it's getting late. Accommodations has been arranged for you upstairs, free of charge. You don't need to pay.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. And if you do want to go and find answers to many questions I'm sure you have, the good doctor is probably the way to go. But maybe wait till the morning. Also, Creel might be awake by then. They ask you some questions.
Of course.
Yep. Go sleep, or
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have a rest? I'll escort you up to your rooms. I'll make sure there's some guards posted on the landing, so if anything untoward happens, extra protection.
We appreciate that.
just
Pleasure.
as
My
we're getting
pleasure,
ready to
lady.
leave, I'm gonna just kind of very, very gently place a hand on Creel's shoulder and cast Cure Wounds. Just, I don't know what's going on with him, but just something.
Yeah, okay. So the radiant energy just passes it.
Just a little something.
You see him glow for a second. Doesn't wake up. You don't know if it did much because you've not seen what's on the other side. It
No.
hasn't rolled over yet.
No.
So as you stand
Just
here,
to not feel like I'm not doing anything.
absolutely. But as you stand here now, looking as the person who called you here in the first place, the past 7 sessions has been heading in this direction. Finally, here, see him, Olga's standing vigil by the door, going to end there. Pick it up after you've had a long rest on the next morning. Decide where you question.
Oh my god. That's crazy! We're there. We're there.
You're at our dance.
We found it. Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
And everything
Time
seems
skip. Let's
still
go.
normal.
Also, I can tell I've been playing way too much Baldur's Gate because you said we got in the storeroom with all stuff, and I was like, loot, loot.
I'm opening every
Take all the
vase,
salami.
every vase, every crate.
I need camp supplies.
I need a rotten cucumber right now.
No one's gonna care if I rob everything in this place.
Apart from the 6'4" orc who's just looking at you.
Yeah.
Right. Guys, that was awesome. That's been far too long coming, and that was much fun. So we will now discuss when we are able to play next. I hope it's soon. But until then, thank you so much for everyone who came in and watched. Thank you again, as always, to my players who are awesome. I'm so happy we are now back doing this, and we finally made it to Orsdance, and we finally made it to Creel. So there's going to be
I believe we're here.
some shit's going to
Wild.
start happening now. Yeah, but until then, until the meantime, we will love you and leave you. Please come back next time to watch us, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Ah.
Bye.